want to.
Okay.
That would just be fun.
Yeah, Callie might want to jump in, depending on if she's home or not.
Oh, she said it in the former chat.
Oh,
So
she did. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll send her a link.
I'm going to put the link in the chat just because I can. But I've sent it to the other guy, and I hope he gets it.
Oh yeah, the vegan dude. He wanted me to say that he had to go and start his own stream and everything, but he wanted me to tell you thanks for the invite and everything, and he hopes to talk to you later.
Okay, nice.
Man.
Don't you like? But what were we talking? We were talking about the school shooting, and he was like mentioning that because he lives in a liberal area, they want to ban guns because, of course, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think the biggest problem is not identifying these kids in trouble before they snap.
Exactly. Like, oh, they just don't care if the kids snap. They just don't care if the kids can harm anyone while they snap. But why don't they prevent the problem before it's a problem rather than pointing to the tool?
Yeah.
Like, for example, do you really think that someone with fuck am I supposed to say? I mean, like, of course, I mean, like, the reason why we have guns is so we can protect people from somebody wants to harm them. That's all.
Yeah, or sports shoot. You know, people sports shoot all the time. People hunt with them. People, people just collect them. A lot of people, I know people that just collect guns and just really don't do anything with them.
I would like to do it if I could afford it later. So I have to save all my money so that I can move and get somewhere else to live, so I don't have to live with my parents. I need to get some job to work in. That's so annoying.
So, Chair, what do you think the solution would be to stopping this whole ban all guns debate thing? What do you think would be better than that?
I don't know. Well, we need a lot more mental health stuff, but I don't know what kind of
what avenue they should take.
No, I don't know what kind of solution there is to fix it, but that is what we need. We need some sort of better mental health checks or something like that, or like people being more aware of what the signs are of someone being a really distressed people.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
But yeah, like it's difficult because there's more than one factor involved. It's not just mental illness.
Yeah. That's what's so difficult about the situation. Like, there's not really a good answer.
Well, in this case, it's also parents not keeping their guns locked up, or like.
Every time this has happened, they've always taken the guns from the parents' gun cabinets or something, and the parents haven't kept them locked up.
I don't agree. I don't agree that you should take the guns and like have the bullets in a separate container and all this other bullshit. But like,
because then how are you going to defend yourself from invaders? So if you can't have your gun with the bullets, as long as you don't have the bullets.
No, they have to be in a separate lock. In Canada, they have to be in a separate lock cabinet.
That's like in Australia too.
The bullets have to be in a separate lock container.
Yep.
Wow.
That is retarded. Why? I mean, like, if you are going to plan to commit a crime, you can just take the one from the one container, from one room,
keep in mind,
then put it in your gun, and then commit your crime.
Keep in mind that in Canada, it's a lot more. In Canada, it's a lot more difficult to. If you use a gun to defend yourself in Canada, it's a lot more difficult to defend yourself from legally. Because the rules say that you can't use weapons to defend yourself. You're not supposed to anyway.
Yeah, it's retarded.
Skullagram, so he lives in Canada, and he did this whole episode on his channel about that situation. And Basically, it's like you cannot use greater force than is necessary in Canada. Like you have to use equal or lesser force to stop an assailant.
Yeah, but you're also not supposed to use a weapon at all. I mean,
Really?
mm-hmm.
What if they have a gun? Then you have a gun. Then that's equal or lesser, force to use. So you would be able to shoot them, wouldn't you? If they were going to kill you.
Not necessarily.
I don't understand.
You would probably still get in trouble for it.
Wow.
At least you don't die, so that's less trouble than what it would be if you don't.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot someone and have to go to court for murder than die.
Same here.
Yeah. That's true. But yeah, fighting in court is a pain in the ass because, like.
Well, you can just be a girl, and then it's fine. It's kidding.
Yeah.
Can you think of anybody on YouTube that's really big on guns that's reasonable about guns? I mean.
Skullagrim is the only person that I know, and he lives in Canada. He owns a bunch of guns and stuff and shoots them and makes weapon videos all the time.
Well, there's JT, whatever his name is. I thought Tennessee Marine, but he's not on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, and Tennessee Marine's kind of volatile.
Who even is that? I've never heard of him.
But he's nice. He's really nice. But, sometimes he gets worked up really, really, really strongly.
I think I can get worked up, but that usually requires a
No,
lot of bull.
No, he got mad at me over accusing him of doxing somebody because there's a picture that you could, if you had the ability to, you could easily have identified him.
Yeah, and he just got upset by it.
Yeah. None of that. He made me take it down. He made me take it down and apologize and like.
Can I send it to Bridge?
No.
I don't.
Not at the moment.
Then I don't
What?
do it.
Oh, Bridge building heathen.
Oh.
She doesn't. She's not a fan of me right now. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're not a fan of each other right now.
No, I just think that as far as certain topics, I'm fine with her as a person. It's just certain topics she gets really passionate, and it's really difficult to talk about them because.
I've kind of noticed that. You know the time when you were like.
No, just because last night she essentially implied that my channel is pretty close to blood sports, and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Like,
no,
it's
like,
people are just like, okay, it's like, it's seems like it's just point scoring because it's like not like the things that people are trying to actually make a good case for themselves.
Yeah.
But at least it's not as annoying as watching Destiny.
Oh.
Because that's just painful.
I've never really watched this stuff that much.
No, and I used to do when he comes on live stream debating with people, and it's like, oh my god, I don't.
About Destiny?
I can't even.
Well, did you hear that Mr. Did you hear that Mr. Mediker on the Kumite or whatever got Amos Yee to admit that he's a troll?
Really? How did he do that? And what did Amos Yee say?
He admitted that he's just doing stuff. He just says stuff to get a rise out of people. But that's not like anything new. He said that before.
Yeah.
But he's a troll.
Yeah. No, he's a troll, meaning that he says things just to stir people up. He's not like he doesn't believe any of the shit that he says about like pedophiles or anything. Like people take him super serious about everything he says regarding pedophiles and stuff, and like most of it's not really accurate,
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear though that Jeff Holiday's thing airs on Tuesday? So
I can't wait to watch Dr. Phil is like cringy and horrible, but I can't wait to watch it with Jeff on it.
I think that even my mother is going to watch it because she likes Jeff's content.
Oh, really? That's cool.
My mother said like she watched a lot of YouTubers, like to watch some YouTubers that I like. I mean, like she liked to watch Andy Worsky too. I think she also liked to watch Blair White. She would like to watch her too. And she likes to watch Sagan of Akkad.
Yeah, boring.
I know that even she
Wait.
liked to watch Edgy things before when he was making videos, but not anymore.
Mm.
It's like, what was else? Yeah, she also likes to watch Murdoch with me. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
And we are like, what? Because we all like basically the same humor and taste in many parts. A lot of the
Is your
things I
mom
like to
fairly
watch,
young?
she'd like to watch. No, she's 50.
She's 50? Oh, okay. So she's only 5 years or 5.5 years older than my sisters.
Yeah. My sister is 37.
So around Chair's age, Chair's like 34, 35, something like that, right, Chair?
Yeah, I'm 35 now. Yeah. That's
That's
old.
pretty nice.
I'm
That's
only
not
5 years
too
behind
old.
you, buddy.
No, you're not. You're like 10 years behind me. You know. Okay, not that much, but how old are you? Like what? 26 now?
Who,
What did
me?
you say?
Yeah, you're like 26 now.
No, in April I turned 30.
Mm. I'm being nice then.
That's
You're being very nice.
It's like so weird because some of my friends they thought that they were like 15 years old.
A lot of people think I always get carded. I can't get a drink without getting carded. I can't anything. It's annoying.
Well, that's good because that means that you are a lot of time of looking young, and that's a big plus. Like
Yeah.
forever. Because it's good to look like you are 30 when you are actually 50. So there is that too.
Yeah.
Teen gunman attacks Texas high school art class, kills 10. So he attacked the art class specifically.
Yeah. He walked in the art class and said, "Surprise!"
Oh, Hitler got denied.
Yeah, I guess his teacher gave him a bad note or something.
Maybe.
Even art students who didn't get the admission. He's like Hitler, except that this guy actually did something wrong. That's a joke, by the way, okay? Just so people know, it's a joke.
Yes.
It is funny. Oh, I need to change my t-shirt. Hold a second.
Mm.
Yeah, but obviously the teacher was like, make a house out of popsicle sticks. And the teacher was like, nope, you suck. And then he's like, well, I'm going to get you back. I'll show you the best popsicle stick house in the world after I kill you.
Popsicle stick houses, really?
Yeah, what are those macaroni necklaces?
What is this? A center for ants? Yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, sorry, my stomach's bugging me today.
Do you mind if I invite Dax Orion?
No, go ahead. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
If you don't know who it is, that's fine. Then you just invite him.
Oh,
Hey,
Callie's
Cal
here.
is here.
I was wondering what you meant. That's in gibberish.
That was so scary. I thought someone was like threatening me in Korean. I didn't know what to do. So I just clicked the second button.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Dak.
What's up?
Guys,
Yeah, I don't know who you are. I'm just pretending like I do.
He's a guy I've talked to once before, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's nice.
So, Callie, you had a birthday party today.
I'm so tired.
Was it your birthday party?
No, it was my child's. He's
Oh,
8
how
tomorrow.
old is he? Oh, really? Awesome.
Yes.
Oh,
And he
that's
got
so
all
cute.
kinds of presents, and
Don't forget to tell him I said happy birthday.
his dad passed out on the floor. He's in the living room on the floor as my son builds his new Lego sets next to him.
Oh,
Is
that's
They're
it
so
bonding.
nice.
I thought you meant that he
Oh,
passed
So
out like
cozy.
at the
Oh, no.
party.
No, like we were both very tired, and I almost took a nap, but
He fell on the cake. He passed out right into the birthday cake.
there's nothing left of that cake. But we got tons of tacos left.
I loved when I was 8 because then my dad, he was like in his 50s when I was 8, and therefore I liked to like he liked that I was like throwing me around in the bed because it was so funny when it was like he like throw me at the bed like you could fly, and that was so funny.
Oh yes, we do
Didn't
that to
your
my
dad do
child.
that?
Yeah, my
What'd you
dad used
say?
to throw me in the swimming pool. Terrifying.
Swim,
My dad
motherfucker.
would throw me into bed.
Well, your dad threw you on the swimming pool to get you to learn to swim, right?
Yes,
It
exactly.
was the South.
I know, but my mother took my sister's kid in the swimming pool, like dipped her there like slowly, and she started screaming. But my mother wanted her to like reach the bottom. So she did it until she did it, because then she just went happy and started to play
Yeah.
around.
I had swimming lessons all my life.
I
Yeah,
couldn't.
my
I
dad
could
just threw
have
me in the swimming
I could
pool.
have become a lifeguard, but I was
I
like, I
couldn't
ain't
get
doing
past
that
the first
shit.
level of swimming lessons. That's pretty pathetic, I know, but I couldn't
That's
tread
okay.
water. They wouldn't pass me because I couldn't tread water. So
Oh, you didn't know how
You
to
could
doggy
drown.
paddle?
Mhm.
You just can't go in the deep end.
Yeah, well, that they won't pass you if you can't go in the deep end. You know,
Mm.
Oh, okay.
you couldn't go on to the next level. Right?
I liked the challenge of diving down in the 10-foot deep part to get the 5 pound weight and bringing it back up.
Well,
Oh, that's so hard.
I
That
couldn't
was
lift 5
fun.
pounds. So.
I was like
I couldn't
so
lift
good at
5
it.
pounds. So that didn't help me any.
Well, I could hold my breath for like almost 3 minutes back then before, I took up smoking and became a loser.
Terrible person.
Yeah.
So you're gonna say before you became a terrible person?
Oh, if I could hold my breath for 3 minutes again, the things I could do.
Yes, you could walk into a public restroom now.
She says that she
Yeah.
coughs.
Yep. Then I cough.
It's always nice that you have a lot of people on the stream because then you don't have to talk all the time.
Yeah, that's always a
pretty good.
plus.
What? No dead air. You don't like dead air? Come on.
I'm
Dead
too
air's
tired.
fun. My show loves dead air.
I'm like so tired. Hello, Mr. Popo. How are
Last
you?
night we went on way last night. The stream went on way too long.
Popo, is the police there?
Oh no, he's just driving through town.
Oh.
I'm gonna drive from one end of town to the other. See him every day, go past. Like, hi.
I always get terrified when I see a police officer or a cop car or something. I always like go, "Oh my God, there's a cop!" I don't know. It's just instinct. I just go,
Oh,
"Oh
I
my
don't.
God, there's one of them."
Oh, I don't. He's not
I
allowed
just
inside
have
the
one
house.
question for you, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you black? Just kidding.
No, he's a gay. It's the same.
Okay,
It's the same.
but that's me.
Sure.
I'm gay too.
Yeah, Callie likes
Congratulations, you
girls.
both.
You're way more gay than Kyle. Okay.
How am I more gay than Kyle? I'm really gay. Just look.
Not gonna lie, I do like the super blonde Valley girls.
because Kyle also likes women, so a little bit. So
Wait, you do?
Yeah, I like guys 70%. I like girls like the rest, like 30%.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't want to call it bi, even though that's exactly what it is.
No,
I mean,
it's
if you
not.
just
Shut up.
Bi would
Labels
be
are
a
for squares.
50-50.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
No.
used
no,
to
it's
think that I
not.
could. I don't
Oh,
even know if I
there's no
like fucking
percentages,
girls,
Kyle.
but
There's
I
no
don't. I
percentages.
just want to do
It's
it.
Well, it's in the definition. Bi it means bisected, means in half.
No,
That's
bi
and
means
it's in the
two.
title.
Bi means two.
bi it means two, not
Yeah,
half.
It means
50-50.
just.
If you
No, it means
split,
two.
Two.
As in two
if you
different.
split a piece of bread in two,
Oh my god.
bisect it,
Oh,
it's
it
50-50.
doesn't. If you're cutting something in half, but even if you're cutting something into 1/3 and 2/3, it's still two things.
I think she's got you there.
Barely two things.
It's still two things.
Yeah, one normal gigantic thing and one tiny itsy bitsy sliver of a thing.
It's two things, Kyle.
Yeah, but how much is it really 30%? Because that's quite a
Oh,
lot. To be
hey,
honest.
Callie.
Well,
Callie,
it's like 80-20. Yeah, I haven't measured it with a machine or anything.
hey, Callie, have you seen the new
Yeah, you thought it
Thundercats
was
thing?
like 95
Yes,
or
I
something.
have, and I'm like, what the hell? Like now, I really want to watch the 2011 version because I remember as a child, I watched the old one, and when it came
Yeah.
back on, I was like, oh, it's coming back, and I never watched it.
Yeah, the fact that this thing looks like Steven Universe, except
It's disgusting. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to ship anybody when they look like that? Like, where is the Wang?
and the main guy Lionel or whatever. I think that's Lionel. I think that's who that's supposed to. No,
Oh,
not
yes,
Thundercat.
Lionel.
The other one. That's the other one, right? Yeah, Lionel's
Yes,
the
Lionel.
Thundercat, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lino's
the
the orange.
the
with
Lionel
red
character
hair.
has like
Yeah,
6 fingers.
Ew.
6 fingers in total, or 6 fingers on one hand.
No, he's in one hand. He's got a thumb and 5 fingers.
Wow.
Oh, just so you know, Tiger Lily's in the chat. Hi, Tiger Lily's in the chat.
Hi, I can't read the chat.
You
Or I'll
go,
get
Glenn.
kicked out of Hangouts.
You go,
Pardon me if
Glenn.
I'm not talking much, by the way. I'm eating. I got caught off guard.
Is that reference too old? The Glenn Coco reference
I don't know.
from Mean Girls?
Fucking
never
How do
Mean
I know
Girls.
that? God damn it! How do I know that's from Mean
Chair,
Girls?
you like that movie too much. You're always like trying to meme
I
it.
like that movie too. It's funny.
It's great. I love that movie.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
I had a crush on the Mean Girl.
Which mean girl? The main one?
The main one and the
Lindsay Lohan?
well,
No, the
kind of
main
all
Mean
of
Girl.
them.
Adams.
What,
Actually, kind of like
Regina?
all of them.
Yeah.
Like the girl who says I have ESPN instead of ESP,
Oh god, I just laughed at a Mean Girls joke.
and the girl who always says fetch. That's so fetch. I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Oh my god.
I want to hug you.
Ew.
I want to put you at the foot of my bed.
I want to hug someone too.
Oh my god, we should all hug,
That's so
guys.
sad.
We should all like
the
hug.
thing is that I've never been able to hug some guy that I find attractive for a longer time.
Well,
In
that's
like
why.
2
That's
years.
why. That's why we rape.
God, it's actually kind of still acceptable.
Terrible.
That's a Tim Minchin joke.
On my back. I'm gonna become crippled soon. Jesus.
Basically,
Hey.
after anything someone says, you just say, "That's why we rape."
Like, it just feels better to just bend all the way over.
How dare you appropriate cripple culture?
But it feels so good, Chair.
Wow,
It's
chicka, wow,
really-
wow.
It's crippling appropriation.
God damn it.
Preparation 8?
Hi, new people.
Hi,
Hello.
random people.
Hello.
Everybody,
Hi.
everybody subscribe to Chairview on YouTube.
Everyone go subscribe to Chair. You don't have to sub to me because I don't make content right now. I'm on
No,
hiatus.
I need more. I need more.
I'm on hiatus. My
You know that
laptop's
they
a piece
didn't
of
keep
shit.
the royal wedding? Okay, they had the royal wedding thing. YouTube was pushing it like crazy, and then you could
Yeah.
watch it live, but they didn't keep it up afterwards.
Chair, I memed it.
Did
It's
they?
on my twits.
Hello?
I memed a picture from
Hello.
the royal wedding.
Hi.
I can't
Hey,
say
guys.
those 2 words. Hi. The royal red. Leave me alone.
It's a nice day
The
for a
wedding.
wedding.
Yes, the royal
Um,
wedding.
She had to deal with a child's birthday today. She's about to pass out.
Billy Idol, anybody? It's a nice day for a royal wedding.
It's a nice day for a. Yeah.
It's a
It
nice
was,
day to
Chair.
start.
It was a
It's
very
a nice
nice
day
day
to
for
start
it.
again, Kelly.
Yeah, Billy Idol needs to sing at the royal wedding, and he needs to sing that song.
Hey, little sister. Anyway, hey, little sister shotgun. Yeah.
Oh,
What does that mean?
beautiful day in the neighborhood. Such a beautiful day
What
in the
is-
neighborhood.
What does little sister shotgun mean?
He's
Oh,
screaming
fucking-
shotgun because him and his little sister used to get in the car, and he's screaming shotgun. Hey, little sister, shotgun. Means I want to sit in the shotgun, the passenger seat.
No, I think he's talking about a shotgun wedding, like that.
That's what I used to think.
Yeah,
Maybe he's talking about executing his little sister with a shotgun.
I think the song is that he knocks someone up, then he was forced to have a wedding.
I always wanted a shotgun wedding, but my daddy was
That's
never
actually kind
around.
of true.
Come to Alabama.
Because the lyrics of the song are, "Hey, little sister, what have you done?" So obviously she got pregnant.
Probably.
But Billy Idol was like, I don't know, that glove and everything. I don't know. I don't know if he's copying Michael Jackson with that glove or what.
I think they came up with it kind of independently at the same time.
What if Michael Jackson was still alive today?
He would be a recluse in his mansion still, probably.
I love when South Park makes fun of Michael Jackson.
Okay,
Oh
he
yeah,
calls
that is really funny.
little sister was slang for girlfriend, which is fucking weird, but I knew that, but like Billy Idol did have a sister that was getting married though, and that gave him the idea for the song.
Oh, cool.
Huh. Did you know that the Pepsi girl is Jesse Eisenberg's little sister? No. Yes, Jesse Eisenberg's little
Really?
sister. Yes.
Does she look as weird as he does?
No.
Herman's Hermits covered the song? What twin?
Really?
Mm.
Yeah,
Billy
and if the new
Idol's
people
weird.
who recently joined want to say something, they can do it they can do it whenever you want to.
Say something about anything.
My microphone's working or not.
I
It
think
kind of is.
Oh, okay.
Tell a story.
I think he's making fun of the fact that she's a virgin. I get it. Okay.
Wait, who is? It's in.
You don't know who Billy Idol is? That means I'm old that I know who Billy Idol is and other people don't.
He's my favorite
he seems-
anti-SJW YouTuber.
Yeah. White Wedding. The other song is.
I am my favorite anti-SJW YouTuber.
Oh, really? I'm my
Yep.
favorite SJW YouTuber personally.
I'm a person.
Actually, I don't do it. I don't do very much anti-SJW crap anymore, but once in a while. If
I am
there's
a
something-
biker mouse from Mars, and I am the truly oppressed. My planet was overtaken by the evil Plutarchians, who drained it of all of its natural resources.
I am going
We
to talk about.
starve on
I am
desert
gonna
Just
talk
plains.
about
Avatar too.
Spotify, though, okay, I'm going to talk about the Spotify thing, where they're trying to get rid of all
Mad
these
Max
articles.
on Mars up there.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
Oh, where they're trying to get like gender parity on Spotify, isn't it right?
No, they're trying to get anybody removed that has been accused of like spousal abuse or teams to promote that shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Like,
Oh,
okay, every musician in the 70s and 60s that had sex with an underage groupie, they're
Yeah, but
gone.
they wanna get rid of-
Fuck the
they wanna
Beatles.
get
Fuck
rid
the
of
Rolling
Eminem.
Stones.
They want to get rid of Eminem, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Don Henley.
Don Henley.
Yeah,
With the one hit he has.
he's apparently a scumbag though. Like, so that would include the Eagles, right? Obviously. But like, and then he's 6'9", 6'9" shouldn't even be a thing anyway. So, like,
Oh
6'9"
God, no.
6'9", who has the multicolored hair and the multicolored grill, and has the number 69 tattooed 69 times on his body,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's weird.
fucking bad.
including his face. Yeah,
It's weird.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing he became successful.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to tattoo like tattoos all over your face, hoping that you become successful. And he did, but what if you
That's
don't?
played the long game. Like that really is. Imagine seeing him like, imagine he didn't become successful, so he's just working in like Walmart or something, and he just
Yeah.
you turn
Welcome to
around and you
Walmart.
just
How
see
may I help
that,
you?
and you'd probably just throw acid in his face, to be honest. And I think that would be an appropriate reaction. Like
I think
anything
they
else.
would-
Yeah, like Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I know. But at least that song's only like 2 minutes long, so it's not like.
I wish it was longer. I want a 10-hour version.
I'm sure. Well, look it up. Type in 10-hour anything, and you'll find it on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Because people want that.
10-hour.
Well, people want that long play. They want people to watch more of the content.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think after 10 minutes, it doesn't really matter.
Gucci Gang. There's a guy who actually said the word Gucci Gang like 10,000 times on a live stream.
This is why we need gulags.
Yep, I found it. Gucci Gang Little Pump, 10 hours. Yep, a lot of versions of it exist.
There needs to be Nuremberg trials for this.
I actually unironically agree with that.
I typed in Gucci Gang 10 hours and I got 9.5 million results.
I hate the civilization right now. Jesus.
9 million YouTubers are putting that shit up.
I keep screaming, but God won't hear me. That's fucking disgraceful.
Well, you gotta look up, type in any song title and then type, but I'm screaming the lyrics.
Oh, I did that for You're Welcome. The Mona song.
My pigeon meme video didn't take off. I guess I missed the trend.
But I used to not like following trend. I used to like to do me. I mean, like some people, not anyone here, but some people used to go into YouTube because they want to be like big, with that as their goal, and that's never going to happen because everybody who gets big just want to do it because they just happen to get big because they're real.
Yeah.
I'd love to get big, but that would require, making content.
I would love to get big too, but that would require eating lots of McDonald's.
Dude, man, I think if you just went on a pure protein diet, you might be alright. Like, just really bulk up. Become like Vegan Gains or something, but not a psychopath.
Oh, God, Vegan Gains.
Vegan
One of the craziest people in the world.
I really don't like Vegan Gains because he really doesn't like people having kids.
That's so...
He's like the complete opposite of everyone who knows everything about me knows that I am the total opposite of that.
Yeah. I like hamburgers, and I like to do things like a normal human being. I don't like to feed my dog grass.
Yeah, I don't really like to record my granddad dying as a heart attack is making to make a political
that's horrible. Point. That is really horrible. When I heard he did that, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
They're just a normal, stable human being.
Don't do that.
It's fucking clown world we're living in, lads. Come on, embrace it.
People like him are the reason why natural selection is a thing.
Didn't he get sterilized? So that's kind of true. He
really?
wanted to, but he didn't do. I don't know if he did it or not. I didn't watch the video.
So what are you guys' opinion? Do you think that Jeff Holliday's show on Tuesday being on Dr. Phil is going to help him or make it worse?
Wait, okay, why? I
just want to see it.
You know
I don't follow this shit at all.
You know that Jelly Juice lady?
Wait. He's going on Dr. Phil?
He's not on Dr. Phil. They're just viewing the episode this Tuesday.
Okay, you know the Jelly Juice lady? The lady who says to drink fermented cabbage and it'll cure everything, and it's having pieces of people's intestines flake off and stuff, and they're calling
it's like killing people and hurting people. She says it can cure cancer, and one lady in the commercial said, he said, do you believe if you ate or drank some of this stuff and you had your leg cut off, do you think if you drank this it would help your leg grow back? And she was like, yes, I believe that. My leg would grow back.
Isn't fermented collagen?
Oh yeah, I think it was an arm, yeah.
She talks about something called doing shit waterfalls, which means basically chronic diarrhea. And like she said, well, if you don't want to do a waterfall and you don't want to do waterfalls, you have to
that's called getting botulism.
You have to stick your finger up your butt and pull the feces out manually.
What?
Oh.
No thanks.
But like, isn't fermented cabbage just kraut? Like that's what kraut is.
Yeah, it is.
They mixed with
I think she does it wrong or something.
From it, there's a whole bunch of other crap added to it.
Yeah, and you ferment it.
Didn't she add bleach to it or something? Weren't people adding bleach to it or something?
I know that might be other stuff because he's covered a lot of stuff where people just are like, do you know what will cure autism? Bleach, and it's like,
yes. That's a meme.
I'm not sure about that.
It'll surely cure your autism.
A couple that was
that's not possible.
In Canada got arrested, so and Jeff was happy about that. But like, there was a guy. No, the reason why that started, there was a guy who started a church, who said that he was he was like an ancient god, alien, that was sent
Yeah,
to
that was
Earth
me, mate.
to cure everybody's problems. And the way he
when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I used to tell that to my fellow students too, and they believed it.
But he said the way that he was going to cure humanity was through the AMS stuff, the bleach.
Mm.
He started a church dedicated to it, and people followed him like a cult leader, and that's how the whole thing got started.
Do you guys
What do you
remember
mean, drink
something?
bleach? Was
Like
that the originator of the drink bleach meme?
Yeah.
I
believe
think that
was
came
probably.
out. Yeah, I think it. Yes, yeah, I think it did come from that. Yeah.
Do you guys
Not
see
only
the
were
one where he
not only were
covered
they
the
drinking it,
one?
but if a kid wouldn't drink it, they were giving them enemas. They were sticking it up their butts.
Oh yeah, that
Forcefully.
was insane. Yeah. Do you guys see the one where they look like if someone had a tumor or like a mole or anything, they put like this something on their skin and it would like give them necrosis, but it would rot away their skin or something. I can't remember what the fuck it
the one where
was.
they're getting holes in their skin and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong with these people?
Jeff
That's
covered that one
disgusting.
too. Like, okay, Jeff's stuff when he covers pseudoscience like that is really good. But
Yeah,
some of his
he
other
should do
content
more of
is
that.
not. Like,
It's a pity.
that's how he gets back in people's good graces is by only doing that content.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but then you don't get to say feminism is poo-poo for the millionth time, and
I know, but he's still losing subs like crazy, and he needs to do something. I don't know.
Yeah. He needs to, start pumping the water out of the ship, or it's gonna sink.
He needs to roll his hair back into dreads.
No.
He needs to cut his hair, the dirty old hippie.
No,
No.
Encouraging white people to have dreads.
I saw the
that
preview of the Phil episode.
He had
I
a
saw
really
the
nice
preview for
dreadlock.
the episode, and he looked pretty good.
I know what
I was surprised though.
Well, I mean,
thought,
he
you know how
always
Dr.
looks
Phil
good.
has-
It's just
No, you know how Dr. Phil will have someone in the front row of the audience that's an expert? I thought that's what he was going to do with Jeff, but Jeff was up on the stage. So
Yeah.
You
wow.
know what Dr. Phil should do? Dr. Phil should turn his hair into dreads.
There you go.
bald.
He should dread his. No, he can dread his mustache.
get ready though. Now that Jeff has been on Dr. Phil, he's going to start his rap career. Just watch.
Really?
So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going to start his own Dr. Phil show.
Every one of those young girls.
Actually, I can see that happening.
Kill me with
Yeah.
bleach. How about that? Kill me with bleach. How about that?
Every time he has one of those young rebellious girls on there, they end up with a rap career.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jeff's not that young.
Jeff should
You
have
don't
just
put in a demo anymore to be a rap artist, If you're a young girl, you don't put in a demo anymore with a studio. You go on Dr. Phil.
I think Jeff should have just been like, "Catch me outside, Jillian." How about that?
Miss me with that
Made
Asian.
a lot of mistakes.
And they showed the audience reaction too, like a whole bunch of women just with their mouths dropped open.
Did he just say that?
You can't say that on live television.
No,
He's so
they're in
handsome.
reference to the Jillian.
What do you mean they aren't people?
I made a joke on my show the other day with Aspie on, and Aspie didn't get it, and I was like,
poor
yeah,
Aspie.
Jeff really hates the juice.
That's based.
I know.
Like Aspie's sweet, but he's Aspie.
Yeah, he is sweet. He is really sweet, but yeah, he's really like oblivious to like jokes.
The juice gives him gas. Mm.
A really good case of
Yes, I said it on Jay Willie's show. That's right.
Wait, what did you say?
A joke that'll get you in trouble.
Oh,
Thank God no one heard it.
Well, at least we don't live in the United Kingdom.
We make streaming.
No, I didn't mean in trouble by the law. I meant in trouble with YouTube.
Oh, but in the United Kingdom you can be in trouble with law. No, I don't know. I don't like that.
They're updating the hate speech laws, I think, again in the UK. Don't quote me on this. I think
Well,
they're
I think
making
that you can get 7 years in prison for inciting religious.
Well, no. See if you don't live in the UK and you in the UK, based off what you say on YouTube, they could just ban you, like Sweden banned PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Then he have to go back to Sweden. Fuck.
Like, he physically cannot go back to Sweden. He will be barred once he tries to enter his home country. He will be barred from it.
Yeah. He just needs to move to the United States. It'd be so much easier. He has enough money to do so.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
can't
but
he
then
go back to his original country?
because he'd
Except
be
it's
arrested.
fucking retarded. Why would he be arrested there?
Hate speech.
They do
Because
not
he's a
have,
Nazi.
but they have stricter hate speech law in the United Kingdom than in Sweden.
Well, he wouldn't go back anyways.
No, why
Yeah.
would he? Jesus fuck.
He said it himself.
Well, Sweden is no longer Sweden. It's called Swedistan now. It's gonna be Swedistan.
The taxes are too damn
But-
high.
That country has such a. That country is the. I know that their country is one of the most segregated countries that is. It's extremely segregated there. It's like one area is one way and one is used so different. It depends on where you are in that country. It's so weird. It's like not even. And the segregation in that country is just getting bigger wherever it is. It's like.
You're talking about Sweden?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
actually a school program for elementary school students in Sweden where like they have like places where children can undergo transgender therapy, so that way when they become
Stop
old
it.
enough to do it, they can. And I'm like, really?
No,
They don't
that's
even
Canada.
No, Sweden has it too. There was if I remember right, there was a video that was on. Was it Sargon or was it? It was either Sargon or Omegon who.
I've never seen that. Can you please send it to me in this?
Yeah,
in this...
I'll find the video. It's on one of their channels somewhere. I just remember someone decisively British was talking about it.
Yeah.
I just know that they can raise children as gender neutral without giving them medicine. I mean, like they can like.
I think it was Gary Orsom. Now that I think about it, I think it might have been Gary Orsom.
Oh, okay.
He was.
Okay,
Let me see, Gary.
There was like a person, two couples there, who like tried to be androgynous. They called their. I know that the word for mother is mama, and the word for dad is papa, and
Papa.
therefore they called the parents mappa, like a combination of the two, and he was
Papa,
like,
can you hear me?
a man with like big a dress and tits or something. And they like raised their kid, who was a boy, as being both a boy and a girl. And if they ask like people on the daycare, they said like use a gender neutral pronoun and said like the kid was both. And I was like watching this and I was like, this is so wrong. Oh my god, I will never raise my kid like that.
Yeah, when my child, I was, well, because I didn't care, but my child, you know, ever since he was a newborn baby, my mom's boyfriend, his grandpa, I guess, put the toy truck in front of him, and as soon as he touched that wheel, he knew his future.
To be a truck?
When I was a little kid,
No,
I like
he's
to-
been
I
obsessed with, like, you know, trucks, trains, planes, tanks. He wants to join the army, Kyle, really badly.
Planes,
also be an
trains, and
engineer.
automobiles.
Yes, Timmy, shut up.
Does he
Shut
realize
up.
in the army he has to kill people?
That's the patriarchy.
Yes.
You should force him to transition, and then once he's transitioned, he'll know that
We watched
That's
Full
actually
Metal
wrong.
Jacket together.
Really? Harley Army. Awesome.
Yep.
Have you shown him Apocalypse Now?
No, but he watched Armageddon.
I would love it if your kids there walk around going, I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah.
I
I love the
that-
smell of peanut butter and jelly in the morning.
I love that he's like 8 years old and like he can pick out actors now. And like as soon as he sees like Bruce Willis,
Is
he's
that
like,
Tom
Mom,
Cruise?
look, it's Bruce Willis. Yeah, and Tom Cruise.
Look,
Hey,
Mom,
hey.
John
He
McClane.
still does that. Is Tom Cruise in Die Hard? Just because it's a joke in Vanos gaming video. Oh my god.
It's really.
He's the same age as my niece. I love those. They're really, really funny to like.
But,
I
Hey,
literally
Jay.
play video games with her. I love that. It's so awesome. I love playing video games with her.
my son's a
Like,
gamer.
Oh, he too?
gamer tries
Yep.
it.
He even
Hey,
plays
Jay.
the first person shooters on Roblox. So, you know,
Have you ever
he's
played games
practicing.
with him?
Your
Jay,
son's a gay? Oh, that's horrible.
Jay.
Your son's a gay. You gotta do something about
I found a video about it, but I can't find
the
Gary.
video.
I think
Okay,
he
but-
might have lost. I think he might have lost it when his channel got terminated at that one time.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But
Excuse
I
me.
found a video by No Bullshit who's covering the same exact topic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna post it in your DMs. Okay.
And I've also seen like every episode of Thomas the Trade
Go
up until about 2014. Then he
I
got
like
out
the
of
old
that.
ones with George Carlin. You know George Carlin when he used to be the conductor.
Well, the ones that we usually watched outside of the really old ones, you know, the toy version ones.
Let me
was
teach you the
CGI
7 dirty
ones.
words, kids.
It was the CGI one, and and they incorporated a Spanish train and a Japanese train.
I love that
and
song.
some girl trains.
Some
There
tranny
was no
trains.
soul
A trainee.
train though. And there was a movie about like the steam engines and the diesel engines like
Oh yeah, they
fighting
were
each
like
other,
enemies.
and there was like no positive ending. Like, oh, the steamies are better. Like, oh, look at us, we're better. And I'm like, wow, you racist bastards.
Yeah,
Top
the steam
10 anime
engines are better.
battles.
They have to shove coal in the back of a
Thomas
hole.
Thomas should have been fired. He should have been thrown in the scrapyard and dismembered because he sucked at being a train. And
Didn't they,
Perkins should have quit. Perkins had to sleep overnight at work. All right? Full shirt,
Autobots,
Topham hat. Hi.
lick my ass.
No, it's Thundercats.
Oh, Optimus. Hey, dude.
It's
Hey, what's up?
Thundercats Roar now.
Oh God.
Your mama roars.
Thundercats.
I didn't.
In a world where no one gives a shit.
In a world where Optimus didn't watch my gameplay video.
In a world where
Look,
Optimus was the villain.
See, the thing is with watching gameplay and doing gameplay is that I'm a doer, not a watcher.
Those who can't do, teach, my friend.
Right, so I'm doing while you're trying to teach.
So I'm teaching you how to be epic at Fallout.
I'm teaching you how to kill those fucking super mutants.
I cleared out the elementary school like a boss, all right?
Wow.
Like a boss.
Damn.
The elementary school was it Fallout, what, 3?
Practicing fucking school shooting. Nice.
Get rejected. Sit on Deborah's desk.
Where is my cup? God damn it.
Honestly,
Hey,
if you
Optimus
yeah, what's up? Yes.
I think it was just AK.
I didn't
hey.
hear anybody say your name.
Oh.
So you know
said
the
hey.
conversation earlier about Billy Idol? I think that's what the shooter said. Hey, little sister, shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy, where's my cup? I don't know what that means.
Imagine if someone walked in there and had like music on their cell phone and they hit the playlist as soon as they started doing the school attack. That'd be horrible.
So tonight I'm doing another trivia stream.
What trivia regarding what though? Like, is there a specific
Video
topic?
games.
Oh, awesome.
I would so fail at that.
Well, the winner last night got whatever game they wanted. No price cap.
Yeah, you told me that. That's awesome. That's a really cool fucking
That
prize.
would be good if my computer could run it.
Yeah, and it'll be the same price. It'll be the same type of price tonight.
Make sure you get it for PS4 Pro.
No, that'll complicate the whole thing. It's going to be for PC. If you don't have PC, can't run a PC, fucking scrub.
Well, I'll just sell it then.
I am.
Because if I'm on there, I'm going to win.
What if it's a digital download? What if he just buys it for you on Steam?
Digital download this.
What if it's a digital download, then I will sell the key to someone.
Fuck, I forgot. Now I can see me flip everyone off. That was ruined.
Perfectly legal digital download.
Oh no, it's this video. I've seen this one. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Holy shit. Mumbo Jumbo in the jungle. Jesus Christ.
What is it, mein Führer?
That's a lot of religious context.
I think you finally realized my fame on Steam.
Hookers with shit coming from the dick. Jesus Christ.
I think someone just chopped his cock off. That's what it sounds like.
Jay, stop. You're acting like someone kicked your cat Explain.
What the hell's
Like,
going
it's the
on?
link.
Video.
It's the
It's
link
a no
he sent
bullshit
to me.
video, okay?
It's no bullshit video. I'm trying to
The
show
video I
the
sent
video to
you.
you guys. We're gonna watch the video right now.
We're gonna watch
Together.
a video together, like a family.
Yeah,
We are not
that'd
going to watch
be
a Brooks
beautiful.
video, okay? I am not watching a video by Brooks, okay? I'm
Can
not
I
doing
sit
it.
on Optimus's
It's not by
lap?
Brooks. It's by No Bullshit.
No bullshit
Absolutely,
name is
Kelly.
Brooks.
Sit on the
That's
muffler.
his name.
Yay!
Oh, I didn't know his name. Now I know, because knowledge is power.
That was already released
Thank
publicly.
Are you
Dude.
sure you wouldn't
So-
tolerate that? Sha.
No, I'm like No Bullshit's videos are fine, but the tone of voice he uses, like his
Quickly,
opinion is
tie
stupid.
Jared down so he can't leave.
No, but his tone of voice is like so condescending.
No, he
Yeah,
is an
but you
angle.
kind of should be condescending against the people in this video. We don't have to watch all of it, just a little bit of it, just to understand
Okay.
how
I'm-
crazy
I'm-
these people are.
Need to click it so you guys can watch it.
Yeah, this is some fucked up shit over in Sweden. Still going on. I feel bad for their boy.
I'm never buying Swedish fish again.
They're
So
from
who's,
Canada, Kyle, so you're fine.
I never liked Swedish.
Yeah, I know.
so who's going to partake in the trivia?
Isn't that pretty fucked up though that Swedish fish are made in Canada like that?
It is really fucked up. Like, isn't it made by like a subsidiary of Haribo or
The
something like that?
Swedes. The Swedes.
No, it's I'm not sure. No, it's the same. It's the same company that makes like bananas.
Yeah, like Haribo.
No, it's not Haribo though. It's something else. It's not related to them.
Okay. Oh shit! Wherever you live, Jay, Willie, I think something horrible is happening outside.
That's my house.
Oh, it's your shit, Chair. Someone's about to die
happening?
then.
Because I live by like a main vein, like a main road.
Oh my
So-
god, ew.
Anytime there's an ambulance, I hear it from here.
Is someone dead? Did something happen?
Absolutely.
One of
Oh,
the children
no.
clogged the toilet. Now I'm mad.
What?
Oh, one of the children clogged the toilet before they left.
I'll start beating them.
Uh,
It's the only way to fix the problem.
Sure. He already does that. Okay.
We'll continue beating them, but harder.
Use the
tell him not to put too
plunger.
much toilet paper.
Smack, the harder you smack them, the more English they get.
Yeah.
Use-
rubber
I
tape.
don't have to beat him. I just have to threaten to put a video of him on YouTube.
Oh no, Jay left.
Oh no.
If
Again?
he stays gone as long as he did the last time, the fucking stream will end.
Lovely.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Thank God.
Jay, we thought you lost. We thought we lost you.
Forever.
Some of us hoped.
Forever.
Forever and ever, you stay in my heart. Anyway,
Go to the corner.
In a world where standing is taboo, one man in a chair
I am
decides to change the world. Shut the fuck up. I'm not narrating.
Bye, Feeney.
No, it was about you too. It was going to turn you into a hero. Then you had to fucking interrupt me, you goddamn Jew.
Oh God.
Everyone here knows that I make funnies. That's why you hear
I make
He
He
funnies.
makes all the funnies.
I make
and
all the
squeals
I make
like
all
a
of them.
girl.
I make all of the funnies. All of them.
every
Can you-
single one of them.
But can you squeal like a girl, Kyle?
He can.
Maybe.
Like imagine,
No, that's a pig.
imagine something jumped out of nowhere right in front of you.
What's the difference?
Like boom. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God! That's happening! Oh my God! But I can also talk with a very manly voice if you want to.
And I can talk with the smart voice if you want to.
What are you doing? You are a quiet boy compared to me. A quiet boy.
I am talking with my dark
You know, like,
voice.
no,
I can't talk like that. I'm like the man.
Octopus.
No,
I'm going to run my
I'm more-
fist into your stomach.
I'm also talking with my little voice. It's so little because I can talk with my little voice if I wanted to.
Yeah. You sound like an actor from like 1940s. What's his name? There's a famous actor that has big bug eyes that has that voice. What's the fucking actor's name?
I do not know his name.
Peter Sellers does an
The one
impression
from
of him.
Three's Company?
What?
No, not that guy.
No, that's not Matt.
He had the
What the
voice
hell?
like this.
Yeah, that's
He
not
had a
Matt.
voice like this.
From the Maltese Falcon.
He
It's
had
the
a
movie The
voice
Maltese
like
Falcon.
this.
Peter Sellers.
No, Peter
The
Sellers
lungs
does
of snow
an impression
and
of
your
him.
Father smelled of elderberries.
What is the original guy's name though? Like the actor he
Oh.
does the impression of.
I don't know.
Fucking
That's lost at the
yeah. I just saw Peter Sellers. I just watched his interview on I think Parkinson or something like that. One of these shows like from the 70s in the UK, and it was so good. He did like all the voices that he's famous for, and he talked about Dr. Strangelove and all that. It's so like interesting.
Who was the guy who played Winnie the Pooh?
That was a girl. A woman actually did Winnie the Pooh's voice.
Really?
No.
No, I thought it
No,
was.
I call bullshit. Hold on, I'm looking this shit up.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
up
the
who
old
did
Winnie the
Winnie the Pooh's
Pooh.
voice. Yeah, the original Winnie the Pooh was done by a woman.
Original?
Yeah, you gotta
Yep.
do the original, otherwise it'll pull up the new movie.
There's a
Because
new
there's a
movie.
new movie.
She looks
There was
like Jane
actually-
Goodall. The woman
Oh.
that does Winnie the Pooh's voice looks like Jane Goodall.
Speaking of Winnie the Pooh, he's been banned in China.
Really? Why? Because he eats all the honey?
Because he eats
Sterling Holloway. And then there's Jim Cummings, and there's
Arguably the most famous.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing any of the ladies. So again, I claim bullshit.
Oh, I'm thinking of the original cartoon stuff like from the 1960s.
Oh wow, maybe
I think it's the
those.
60s. Like the original Winnie the Pooh, the voice that everyone knows and that's been imitated ever since by men also, was a woman.
But who can do? Okay, so who here remembers Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Oh, me
Yeah.
so much.
Remember.
Bill Nye
so-
the Science Guy.
So who could
He's retarded now.
Hey guys.
No, he's not.
Hey, how's it going? So who can
He's
do the
not
voice?
retarded.
Who can do the voice
He is.
that?
You don't even believe in science anymore. You believe in left-wing new ideology bullshit, things like that.
That's because he's trying to be hip.
Gender.
It's not. That's not working. He's fucking the establishment.
Okay. Let's all stop sucking on his nipple and listen. Okay.
Yeah.
So who can do the voice of the "Did you know that?"
Oh God.
And then like
Did you
the more
know
you
that?
know.
Did you know that? Oh, no.
Because I need someone to say that.
Did you know that?
I don't even remember how it
I
sounds.
appreciate your enthusiasm, but I really need you to hold on a second, okay?
Okay. Well, you just asked a question, then you did not
Hey,
allow
guys,
people to answer.
Well,
respond to the
I
question.
was about to, but then everyone kept saying, "Did you know that?" So, so I need one person, just one, to set me up for my punchline because they need to say, "Did you know that?"
Not me.
Now this is where you do it.
Can I try?
Did you know that?
Michael J. Fox was the original proprietor of the phrase "shake my head."
Did you know that?
I call bullshit.
Did you know that?
Well, the ending of the phrase after the punchline is "the more you know."
And knowing is half the battle.
But if you watch Bill Now, they just end up knowing less.
Can any of you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
hear really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
My stream didn't end up didn't even end up being uploaded because of there were issues with one person that couldn't get on.
That sucks.
That's always
Yeah, that really sucks. That was like quite a bit of time wasted.
Yeah.
So what's everybody like doing right now?
I am fapping furiously.
Talking
Yes.
shit about this and that and everything, I guess.
And I am hacking into Optimus's camera and fapping furiously to him fapping furiously.
Oh, we were all
I
gonna
already
sit
fap
down.
days. I don't have to do it again.
So that's why the light on the webcam is on. Hold on a second.
I thought we were all gonna sit down and
Don't
watch
turn it
video
off.
together.
Works for me.
We were all going to read a review about John Wick 2.
Oh yeah, I watched it yesterday. And
yes, John Wick 2 and the.
I saw it.
God.
It's pretty good.
The capitalist white supremacists.
Yeah, you can't even remember, can you?
Nope, I can't. God damn it.
So it's an inside joke.
Imperialist, capitalist, white supremacist patriarchy.
Yeah, because white countries are the most imperial.
Well, no, it's an inside joke because I don't know what stream it was on, but the fact is that I was reading the review out loud, and every time I came across that phrase, which happened to appear 58 times, I counted.
Actually, it was 13.
It was. Well, we're gonna go.
It was enough.
So it was. We're gonna
It
go.
was actually 152. It's just that all the other ones were like in fine print. You know.
Right. So. All right, so I was reading that, and every time I came to that phrase, I lost it. I started laughing. I couldn't take it seriously. I must have spent more than a half an hour in total trying to calm myself down from laughter, and Saint and Satire was doing the exact same fucking thing as well.
We had to take a laughter break because he broke like in half.
Yeah, I broke in half by laughing so hard because I was like, really? Because then it made some innate connections to other movies that didn't even make sense.
Optimus, the woman who wrote that article is on the Freak Show with Anita Sarkeesian and that Ebony woman.
Oh,
well, that would explain it.
They do that podcast.
Ebony woman.
That would explain it.
that's her name.
That would explain it. Retards of a feather flock together.
Carolyn Pettit wrote that article. I remember.
Anita, I blame
It was a John
Anita
Wick article that hardly had anything to do with John Wick.
I blame Anita Sarkeesian for everything wrong with the video game companies today.
So the thing is, Anita Sarkeesian is becoming a legend. Any game developer corporation she goes to automatically plummets into the shitter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to ban her from visiting you.
That's what happened to fucking. That's what happened to fucking BioWare with their, with their freaking Mass Effect Andromeda.
Like that's the thing. If I ever get a corporation going to where I'm making video games, if Anita was like, I'm coming by, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna shoot you if you do.
Yeah, I will literally like tase you at the front door.
I cannot afford the losses. It will go in your brain and you will die.
She touched Far Cry 3 with her dirty, grubby fingers. And she raped it.
I remember when I showed my dad
with
the
her
video.
Dick nose.
Ew.
I showed my dad the video Sean Head did about Anita Sarkeesian when Anita Sarkeesian defended Islam, and my dad got so upset about Anita Sarkeesian's stupidity that he went to bed and he talked to my mother how stupid she was, and he was so obsessed about it that he like couldn't sleep, and he was like so. He was so shocked. He was like in shock. But he saw that she was so stupid. He was like, oh, he used to walk around in the house like, oh my god. He was like freaking out for like he couldn't sleep for like 5 hours or so because
he was distraught.
Saw a response video to Anita Sarkeesian because he saw that she was so fucking stupid.
She keeps me awake at night with rage.
And he was like, he even woke up my mother and said, oh, I saw
that crazy bitch.
She was so stupid. Oh my god.
He's legitimately the reason why I think Mirror's Edge 2 sucked.
And he's over 60 years old.
Yeah, Mirror's Edge did suck.
Mirror's Edge. Oh god, my friend spent the full price on Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, my fiance did too. Yeah.
He digitally downloaded it. And I was like, why did you do that? You could have bought the hard copy and then returned it. Like,
yes.
It's a shame, because I liked the first game. I loved the end theme.
Thanks to all these idiots, there's no more Hoodie Pop.
Yeah. Gotta kill Honey Pop for whatever reason. Weeb's fap,
But
goddammit.
my titties.
The titties are love. Titties are life.
Exactly.
Well, they're bouncing because she's bouncing on my muffler.
But we can't get rid of the fucking daddy dating shit. What the fuck was that game?
Hey, that
Optimus.
game.
Optimus. A muffler is an exit, not an entrance.
Everything.
Daddies need dates too, Callie. Okay.
Not tonight, it isn't.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Surprise butt sex.
To Sweden, every
I spent an
entrance-
hour.
Every exit is an entrance.
Exactly.
I spent an hour today roaming through the Twitters that belonged to weird, gendered, trans.
Wait. So you're saying
SJW.
you were roaming through millennials?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe my generation is full of fucking.
The stuff I came through.
I can't
Don't
believe.
remember most of it.
I can't believe it. It's so fucking full of bullshit, blue hair and screeching harpies and soy boys. And I'm like over here from Texas, and I'm just looking at it all, and I'm like, I'm watching my generation burn, people. I'm watching my generation burn.
Bye.
Yeah, I like the smell of burning millennials in the morning.
So I just posted a tweet.
What is it?
Yay! Give him a cookie.
You really should check
Do I have
it.
to go look at it?
Here, I'll even post it in here for you.
Well, I can't see that. I have to use my phone.
Do I really have to make a cancerous Twitter and then, kind of, I don't know.
Well, I'm looking for people
So we
for the
have a bit
trivia.
of a timeline here. So I did the same night looking for more people to do the trivia competition, and the winner gets any game they want. Retweet this and roll call in the comments below.
Winner gets your ass.
Retweet. There you go. There's your publicity.
That really is a cool name, dude.
Beautiful.
What
That's
name?
Optimus Christ.
Because Jesus.
Optimus Christ. Because Jesus can't turn into a truck.
Dang it.
I don't know. It's like it's already a meme joke that Optimus is Jesus because,
With all the symbolism in the movies and stuff, yeah.
Well, no, not just the movies. Also in the original Transformers cartoon, because he died and came back in 3 days to deliver the Autobots to victory over the Decepticons.
And you know what he said?
Fucking lag. Took me 3 days to respawn.
Oh gosh.
Jay's back! Yay!
Stop dropping out.
Yeah,
oh god, there's two of him in here now.
Yeah, especially that screen. That's
What
fucked
the
up.
heck is that?
What the hell's going on?
It is
with
the
this?
Matrix.
You're gonna give us
The
all
Matrix.
viruses.
Your webcam's all fucked up. You might want to shut it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
There you go.
Yeah, there we
Thank
go.
you.
So much.
I don't know what's wrong with it. It's all green and weird.
That means the NSA is listening. Obviously, we said some horrible keywords that they don't like.
This computer's a piece of shit.
The European Union, where we are forced to taxpayer fund gender-neutral kindergarten in Sweden, where they're using gender-neutral pronouns to refer to all children and everything in their books and every human being.
Holy
this
shit,
is not
that was
what
a lot of
we should
cancer.
be using our fucking tax money.
You want
If you
cancer? Go look at Riley
brain about your
Dennis.
kids, you can do it with your own fucking money. Don't take someone else. It's not yours.
Oh, vegan's back. Hey, vegan.
Fucking Christ. Hey, vegan. I'm glad you come and calm me down.
Ew,
I'm
who
getting
brought...
so fucking worked up.
Someone brought honey wheat bread, and I'm mad.
What the fuck?
Don't
That's
you
not-
dare buy honey wheat bread in my house.
You get honey wheat
White
bread
bread.
on turkey, and it's delicious.
I don't have turkey. I
This
have
stream
sloppy
is-
joes.
This stream
I'm a
is
white bread
cancer.
supremacist.
This stream is cancer, but unlike feminism, I grow.
I grow sweet only when I'm excited.
I think Optimus is just like giving us all his taglines from his commercials right now.
Autobots, lick my ass.
He's gone on autopilot.
Reminds me of that episode of Robot Chicken when Optimus got cancer.
I'm going to dick punch your fart box, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Isn't that
Autobots automatically suck my dick.
Autobots blow out.
Yes. Yes. Autobots blow out.
It's funny because prolapse.
Oh God. My anus is on the outside.
Your anus is a planet.
regarding that, when my mother was like a young teenage girl, she did like extra work to work with elderly people, and it was like one old woman there whose anus actually was outside her butt. Sometimes would like have to like put it inside her butt again.
Ew. That's a lovely fairy tale that I do not ever want to hear.
Are you sure
again.
that wasn't her butt plug falling out?
No, it was her anus literally falling out of her.
Okay. Oh God. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. I have to mute.
His mom did a lot of anal sex when she was young.
No, she didn't. He was like an old woman that was like in the elderly care, and then my mother was working there as a teenager, and that was the woman who was working there. She was the one whose anus literally fell out of her buttocks.
Did they not put it back in?
You'd have to like put it back in like some time to time because it kept falling out once in a while.
God, I don't want to know this. I really don't want to know this.
I don't want to know this. Could they put it back in?
This is the best dream ever.
I was trying to find a happy ending. I was like, did they put it back in? I was like, please let it be a happy ending. And no, it wasn't.
Here's a question.
What's the happy ending, Kyle?
Here's a question for you.
Have you ever farted so hard your back cracked?
I have.
Yes, and yes.
So satisfying.
Not really. It kind of scares me.
Optimus, did you tell them the wake up fart story?
Oh no.
I did not. When I was married?
The story. No. The wake up fart.
Hint, hint.
Which
nudge,
one?
nudge. Wink, wink.
The one you told us in Discord about how you woke yourself up with your nasty stankin' farts.
Oh yeah. So, actually that was during a stream.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was streaming, right, and I'm just like talking with everyone. I'm like, haha. So, and then all of a sudden you hear, and then I remain silent for a moment. I'm like, yeah, I ripped ass. It's funny, and then just like that. So anyway, like I'm playing the game. 15 seconds later, I'm just casually talking. I'm like, all right, so here we're gonna go. Oh God, why did I do that? And that's all you hear before you hear choking and gagging sounds.
But didn't like your neighbors think there was a gas leak?
Oh no, yeah. So, fuck, I forgot.
They really think there was a gas leak, like an actual gas leak?
Well, no. The thing is, the fart was so loud
They
that
thought an explosion happened in the building.
Wait, you get the
Okay,
you woke up?
No, this was during a stream. I was streaming.
He was playing the game.
Farted, yeah. So they thought it was a gas leak, and because I mean the walls are kind of thin, so I heard talking. It's like, should we call the fire department? I think it might be a gas leak, and all you hear is me saying, "Oh, you have no idea.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a
I
tumor.
ate beans. I ate Chipotle. Leave me alone."
See, that's the thing. If you had Chipotle, it would turn into machine gun farts because, you'd be able to shoot rice out of your ass.
Oh God.
Your digestive system doesn't digest rice.
Oh.
So when you cook rice is basically a filler. Okay, to go with other stuff. Now, rice,
I don't like rice.
the more it's soaked in water, the bigger it gets because it holds and maintains water. So when it's in your stomach, of course, some of it's going to be digested, but for the most part, it isn't.
Like the husk and stuff, just like corn.
Sort of, yeah. You know how when you get right after you have Chipotle, like 20 minutes later, you take a really nice shit that doesn't stick when it comes out, and it's just like all one giant turd. Yeah, that's because of the rice.
Those are so good.
I do not relate.
I think that's just because of maybe the fiber consumption, like maybe in rice.
I would have to double check, but I don't think rice.
The evil gluten.
If anything, more it's like broccoli and beans.
There is no gluten in rice.
Oh, really?
No, because my mother can't eat gluten and she can't eat rice.
No, I said fiber.
Oh, fiber.
Yeah, fiber.
I believe beans have the most protein.
Yeah.
And
well, lentils do if you want to double check that.
Well, for getting specific, yeah. But I mean, overall, like, because I mean, I have vegan friends and they share secrets with me. And did you know you're actually supposed to soak the beans and actually get the shells off of them? Because the shells is what actually causes the gas.
Yeah, that's why, like, even people like Vegan Gain say, like, you might want to soak the beans and stuff, like, in order to prevent that. And since I'm Hispanic, like, I tend to eat a lot of beans, like, pretty much whenever my parents cook.
See, I wish I was Hispanic so that way I could go ahead and eat all the beans I want. Because reality facing, I'd never have to pay for gas to get to work. I could just fly there.
I know that my sister's daughter, they are white Hispanic.
My husband's Mexican. We would eat Mexican food all the time.
Wait. Doesn't that mean that my niece and your son are both 8-year-old white Hispanics who like to play video games?
No, mine's brown.
Clones.
Are you sure about that? But are you thought about you?
Are you sure that your son's white?
About that?
I'm pretty sure.
About your son?
Child.
I'm pretty sure. I look up from my phone sometimes.
People on opposite sides of the globes are related to each other in the fact that they play video games and have slightly similar racial groups.
But it was kind of cool, actually. I was just sort of thinking about that.
All of a sudden, cute, tiny black kids saying, "That's racist."
That's
racist. Shit! Everybody, I gotta go.
No!
You all.
Yeah, he has to take a massive shit.
Duh, I mean, talking about it makes you want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got to go. I'm gonna go eat first, then go to the bathroom. But I've really got to go.
A couple hours then.
All right. Yeah. I'll see you in a couple hours, Sharon.
Did you know that if you even think about the word yawn, you start yawning?
I don't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have really good willpower.
I don't.
Didn't work.
That never worked.
You just made me yawn
And I'm
right
the
now.
tired one. I'm not susceptible to your tricks.
I am. But I'll talk to you guys later.
So yeah, just go ahead and say the word yawn slowly.
Yawn.
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 Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that Evergreen College started that day of absence shit again?
Why?
Because they hate white people?
Duh, it's all white people's fault.
Yeah, it's always their fault.
Never forget that, white people are
This
scum.
sounds like we're on some kind of professional talk show where there's a call-in guest or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it out loud. It's kind of cool, actually.
So
there's something I've been thinking about recently. That's like, if they are continuing to doing this, but I fear that the word white might be considered a racial derogatory term.
No. What
my
gave you that?
generation, the thing of why I feel like that is because my generation, younger people, are only hearing people being called that when they're reduced to when it's reduced in a negative connotation, and never in a neutral or positive connotation, only negative. So whenever people call people in my generation that, very often we're just associating that with something that people are using in a negative connotation. You just connect back to something calling you something. It's just, yeah. Don't you understand this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds retarded.
So
But I
has
mean, like,
anyone
if
heard
people
of?
using it negatively, then why wouldn't people think it's a positive term? And why wouldn't
Yeah,
that?
yeah, because like there's nothing exactly wrong about being white. If anything, because like they tend to use like collective guilt and all that, like by saying ancestors though like committed all these terrible actions in history, which doesn't it's, that doesn't necessarily like mean that those people like are guilty of their crimes, because like that's like, cause I guess the only way to put it is like we're individuals, like we're not exactly, I guess, like a collective or anything. I guess.
And
The only thing we get from our ancestors is what we look like.
That's the only thing. I mean, shit. Proof, even millennials and Gen Yers or Gen Zs, like you don't even get the same fucking morals.
this used to be called generational divide. And also, if you look at history, the biggest the most people Europeans have oppressed has been other Europeans. So the most people who Europeans have been oppressed by have been other Europeans.
Well, see, I'm almost full-blooded Irish, so the whole, black community saying that they've been oppressed and slavery doesn't affect me because the Irish were the first slaves. Black people were actually treated more valuable than Irish people. So,
yeah, and if anything, you could kind of say that my ancestors were treated worse, as like technically, like you guys know about the Incas and all that, like in that happened in Peru, like 'cause pretty much like you have in history, Francisco Pizarro, who like conquered the Incas in like 1521, and like which required like dozens of like tribes to be slaughtered and all that, just so that way they could like have a settlement over there. Like technically, one could argue that like my people were treated worse. But even then, like I don't necessarily try to use that like to claim that I'm oppressed or anything, because that just be like retarded.
right? It's like I move forward, I drink it off. That's what I do.
I have Cherokee ancestors.
So it's like with me, anyone from the black community is like, my ancestors slavery, or we've been oppressed in slavery. I'm like, look, dude, you know nothing about it, okay? How about the Irish people? What do you think? And they don't even know history. Like they want to go all about theirs, but they don't know the priors before that.
And also they also forget, if you want to look about have you seen the Stacey King video she did about that? He talked about people being colonized and oppressed by another group of people without telling what group of people it was. And then she revealed that it is the Europeans being colonized by the Ottoman Empire. And you're like realizing that afterwards. It's like so fucking hilarious and so amazing, because the Ottomans are like not Europeans and Turkish, and then the Europeans who are white were oppressed by the Ottoman Empire for a really long time, and worse than most Europeans have oppressed other people. So
right, we have a savage history, and if you want to be logical about it, using people to get what you want technically could be considered another form of slavery. You are mentally mind fucking them to get them to do what you want.
That's what it's
pure manipulation at that point, like
under the guise of advertising.
Well, on that note,
That's what
I'm
Kanye was trying to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
I have Mexicans to do.
Let me oppress you.
Then it would just be a sausage party if you left.
Only one. I know.
Alright.
Maybe I'll be back. It depends on how long you guys are going.
I don't have no
No,
idea.
it depends on how long you guys are going.
Yeah, that is true. Until he falls asleep.
Well, it's pretty much the evening where I'm at, so but still not late enough, so I could stay up for quite a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay up for a while, and I'm going to end it when everyone else has dropped out, or a little bit late, or if I need to go sleep.
It's like 7:15 p.m. here, so and I have tomorrow off. I don't think I'm sleeping anytime soon because I still got a trivia stream to do.
I'm doing a stream in 2 hours, and we're going to talk about super tats.
We can all join that one.
Yeah.
No, you can all join mine.
But you can actually do that because that would seem like a perfect ending for this one when you guys begin yours.
Because BuzzFeed is saying that super chats are like #1, that like they're only for the alt-right, basically.
Oh, fuck off, BuzzFeed! You BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed
I was
cannot
about
talk.
to say if
No,
you
but honestly,
consider if you consider BuzzFeed as a reliable source, and I know you guys can't see me, but I did quotation marks with my fingers.
Well, no, I don't consider it a reliable source. That's why I'm going to.
Wait. What happened? What about BuzzFeed?
Anyone who considers BuzzFeed as a reliable source of information, I instantly have no respect for them.
Yeah, but none of us do that, so it's fine. We're respectful.
Yeah, none of us do.
And something I just want to say.
Oh god.
Something I just need to say about this. It doesn't matter if what BuzzFeed tell you about the alt-right is true. It doesn't matter if everything they tell you about the alt-right is true. You know why? Because they are just as bad. BuzzFeed and the alt-right are the same hateful, disgusting viewpoints as each other. It's not different. It's the same bullshit. They're just as bad.
Hold on, though. Here's what BuzzFeed said, okay? BuzzFeed said that they did an article entitled How Super Chats Push the Alt-Right to Create Extremist Content.
Extremist.
Okay, so let me ask this, okay? Now, I've been out of the whole political game for a while, right? Someone describe to me what the alt-right does and what makes them so bad.
I can explain that. The alt-right is basically, if you take the left-wing straw man of everything people say is bad with white supremacists and the things they claim to be against.
Right, the left is
actually quite
cancerous.
similar to the alt-right, but the alt-right could be considered a sort of a collection of neo-reactionary viewpoints that uses old-fashioned right-wing views when it comes to race and gender relations, and that things of its and other positions they have on gender relations and race relations. Mostly, that's the core of it. That puts them outside of mainstream conservative talking points, which is the alternative to the right, which is the right wing, but an alternative because it's outside of what's in the current political right. So the alt-right position usually is very often connected to white nationalism and neo-reactionary, sometimes anti-enlightenment.
Okay, so if I hold on, Chair. If I'm understanding correctly, the alt-right is using the conservative standpoints to justify white supremacists and stuff that goes against morality as a whole, correct?
Yeah, but basically BuzzFeed doesn't even care. But BuzzFeed isn't even talking about the alt-right, okay? BuzzFeed is talking about Andy Warski.
Look, I'm trying to pinpoint what the alt-right is, and here you are talking about Andy Fucksky, okay?
The alt-right,
he's actually giving platform to genuinely alt-right voices, and
Okay.
not all alt-right voices are so horrible.
The term alt-right was actually coined by Richard Spencer himself, supposedly.
Be right back. Gonna have to refresh.
And the alt-right is just like people who reject mainstream conservatism in favor of forms of conservatism that have implicit bias, basically.
So who has the background noise? Like it consistently sounds like someone's eating.
You can. Oh, I do that sometimes. You can basically say that alt-right want to create a white ethno-state, which doesn't really make much sense because white isn't really a race.
The alt-right basically are a group of people that believe that the white way of life is under threat, basically.
No, but that's not just alt-right. They think that's not true, and they have a certain way to go about it and opposing.
Yeah, I would say that the actions, like at that point, because like the statement you made, it's like the white way of life. First of all, that's autistic as fuck.
The alt-right kind
is. Oh, that's funny.
So and two, the actions is what determines the alt-right to be alt-right, correct?
No, not exactly. It's basically you can be alt-right, and as long as you have certain opinions and how you want to apply those opinions in the world. If you want to apply them by, for example, let us forcefully segregating the European white race within their own special community, and therefore rejecting people who doesn't live up to your way of life or who aren't part of your racial group are therefore denied entries within the alt-right supposed ethno-state. And that's basically the best goal of the alt-right that they want the most, but some of them doesn't believe that can be accomplished. Therefore, they want to make everything to make their own country and their own way of being as white as they can possibly imagine. Can.
Oh, okay. So let me see if I finally got this right. So the right, i.e., conservatives, men and women are supposed to complement each other, not be at war or at odds. Far left, everything hurts my fifis. I need a coloring book and a safe space. The alt-right, I'm, give me my own fucking country and I'll kick anyone out that doesn't meet my melatonin level.
Yeah, but many of the alt-rights usually want the society to be like not what the feminists would call patriarchal, but what a patriarchal society actually does look like, technically. That's why they believe that men should be the ones that are the leading role. They are very much tradicons, but apply racial ideologies to go further right than the tradicons. And something that makes them more right-wing is their view of freedom of association, and that should be applied. That if you do not want to associate or support someone based on their race, then you shouldn't be forced to, which entails that most, not Richard Spencer, but many of them have views on taxation, that if that doesn't go and benefit the white race, then that shouldn't be enforced. And our budget way of politics should go to benefit the white race and not benefit other race over the white race.
It's also a good idea to think of them as like how the black people in say Black Lives Matter, how they have black identity politics where they say that we're oppressed and that. Think of that for white people, and you get the alt-right essentially. Because they also believe in identity politics only for white people.
So then
that would mean that would make them, I guess, like a mirror image of like each other, literally.
Yeah, there actually are.
There is the differences that the left have here. They have identity politics. They have the Marxist view that one race, the other race, white races are up the top.
That's not Marxist,
and therefore they see. No, but they have cultural Marxism. They are applying Marxism. They are just switching the workers and the
if they have like the cultural Marxism, let me see if I got this right. So it's like, give me my own country and make it specifically for white people. You don't have my morals or standards, you're not allowed in. Oh, by the way, everyone that is white, you're getting taxed to death, or guess what? Better yet, you're contributing all your shit to the community and it'll be distributed evenly, correct?
No, that's not. No. The alt-right are not cultural Marxists at all. The thing I want to say is that the left-wing identity politics are not the mirror opposite of right-wing identity politics. Left-wing identity politics is using the Marxist model of oppressor and oppressed dynamics to say that one race or one gender are oppressed by the other. So therefore, Black Lives Matter because black people are oppressed by white people. So therefore, they have to elevate black people to the position of white people, and that's not the view of the alt-right. The alt-right view is that white people should be allowed to voluntarily separate themselves and separate themselves from other races.
because they
And they do
believe
not
that
they do not have the same they don't believe that they don't have the same that black people are above here and they are here, and that black people need to help them to get them to the same level, and they should all be equal, because the alt-right doesn't care about equality. They only care about that their own people should have it as good as possible.
well, the alt-right,
So-
the people on the alt-right believe that that people who
They
are
believe honk, honk, honk.
that people who look
Oh,
like
that was, I believe,
going
mine.
to
Sorry,
hold on.
my area.
Basically, people who look like each other and think like each other and whatever get along better together. So, like, groups of black people or groups of Hispanic people that they work better with, quote, their own, quote, kind or whatever, if you want to say it that way.
Well, see, I've heard the
Yeah,
phrase
that's how they
as
see
well.
it.
I've heard the phrase as well that the more that people push for equality, the further the differences become.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
So when you're trying to make everyone one and the same, first of all, that's Marxism right there, in my opinion. Everyone's the same.
Believe like that.
So
that's bullshit.
The alt-right believe that some people are different, and they believe that having other races around the white race is bad for the white race, and to get the white race prosperous, they need to be their own kind.
But I'm going to start my own party though. It's going to be we're just going to kill everyone. That way we don't discriminate. Just everyone. No discrimination. Everyone dies. And I know one of you fuckers is going to ask me what the name of it is, and the name is, what is the point of fucking naming it? Because everyone's going to be dead.
So if I'm getting this right, Jay Willie, so basically what you're trying to say is that, the alt-right believes, in just only making any, I guess, laws or doing anything to, I guess, keep the white race, hierarchy or something like that?
Yeah, they believe that to be hierarchical, but that doesn't really mean that they are white supremacists, because some of the alt-rights are white supremacists, but many of them are just white separatists, that they do not want whites to rule above or control and oppress other races.
A good distinction where would be to compare, say, someone like Tommy Robinson to Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer, he does not believe white people are the superior race.
No.
But Tommy Robinson does have a bit of a knack for thinking that the white race.
That's where the line is between white nationalism and white supremacy. Is white supremacists believe that they're superior,
and white nationalists just want to have a country to themselves.
Oh yeah, but they also believe that but they don't want to get rid of Hispanic people or black people or whatever. They want them to have their own as well.
I swear, Thanos is going to look like a nice guy after I get the Infinity Gauntlet. Everyone's dead.
I know that
let's use an example here where you have neighborhoods, right? Okay, in a city you will have like the Asian neighborhood, like Little Chinatown or whatever, right? You'll have the Italians tend to live in one area, right? And then you'll have like.
Then everyone goes to Chinatown for the food.
Ghettos, right? For the black neighborhoods or whatever you want to call them, but you end up with that situation because that's the main thing that nationalists focus on is the fact that
they don't like cultures to mix because they don't like the cultures to mix because they think that if the culture's mixed, then they lose who they are as a people.
People like Bad Boys, okay. White nationalists.
I'm a green robot, so I got the final solution.
Like I know the Proud Boys aren't technically nationalists; they call themselves Western chauvinists. But those guys look like the biggest soy boys ever. I mean, those matching shirts and everything, like.
Oh, hey, Optimus! Just because you made that comment about you being a green robot, if you did a stream with Red Robot, you'd be Christmas colors.
Well, that's the thing. We have done streams together.
Yeah.
But there's something people need to also notice on live streams that not all alt-right people are like equally extreme. Some people are more extreme than others. And one thing that's important to know is that if there is like a societal position where, for example, where one race, which they see as white race, have to pay taxes like other races.
By the way, Richard Spencer's girlfriend is not white, by the way.
Yeah, that's funny. But the thing I've tried to mention is that if they see a disparity that whites, according to them, if they see that they are paying more than they're getting.
No, but you got to point out the hypocrisy, though. If Richard
I know, but I need to finish my point. And they see that if the white race is paying more to a system, and they are getting less than they are paying.
But Richard Spencer is fucking like an East lady.
Can I please just say what they want? I just need to finish their fucking position. So therefore, they want to dismantle all the systems that would mean that white people are losing something. The Tara McCarthy says that we cannot have the welfare state because black people would disproportionately get more benefit from it, and white people will be disproportionately paying for that. So therefore, they have to go. And not all alt-righters believe that if there is a system like that, where they see that whites are losing out and other
survival of the fittest.
More. So they want those systems to go away, which is basically
but the fact that
way of approaching right-wing ideologies.
Okay, Richard Spencer claims to believe in that, but yet his girlfriend is not white.
What's his girlfriend?
Okay, so you just pinpointed what everyone in the world has: double standards. Thank you.
But what's her race?
I believe she's Asian or black or something.
But how is that even? How did you even found?
Here's what the alt-right in America is really stands for. Based off what I've seen, since I live in Texas, and there is an alt-right group that circulates around San Antonio. But
please tell me they go yeehaw.
No, they do not.
Damn it.
Anyway, so I have talked with one person who believes that the alt-right has the solution to social justice politics ruling the country. And they were telling me that what they want is they want exactly what Jay just talked about. They want a segregation from everyone else because they feel like if they do not do that, then they lose their culture, they lose the ability to reproduce and make more white people, and they don't view their culture as being mixed with everyone else's, because they view their culture as something that doesn't. They think their culture exists still. It doesn't. It's merged with thousands of other cultures since people first settled this country, right? I mean, so what they're wanting is something that doesn't hardly even exist anymore. It's the whole gun-toting, gun show having freaking jolly good time. It's pretty much the only thing that exists left of quote-unquote white people in this country that founded this country, which would be Americans. Americans are when you think of American, when you think of American, what do you think of?
I'm gonna have to go because apparently I'm gonna have to go.
No, you don't. You don't get to run. Answer the question.
All right, I really don't view Americans as anything above or below anything.
Well, no, I'm not saying above or below anything. I just want to, like, the stereotype. There's a stereotype for every country. What is the stereotype you think most of the world has of Americans?
Chauvinistic people walking around with a big fucking stick and our dicks hanging out.
No, don't forget fat and lazy. Don't forget that.
Well, I mean, I've had the pleasure of asking a Brit who was on vacation in my city what he thought Americans were like before he came here. He's like, well, my dad always used to tell me that when he went to America, they looked like they were ready to shoot him on sight because they all wore these really freaking hillbilly hats and shit. And I'm like, he must have gone to Idaho. Because, like,
you threaten my potatoes.
On the east side of Idaho, it's very, very conservative, and they all look like, really, really conservative farmers.
I bet they go yeehaw.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to go. I might maybe come back. It's just because right now I got to go eat.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
See ya.
But yeah, I mean, whenever I think of what people think of America, I think they think that we're like some gun happy, free, they're envious of us, and I'm just like, that isn't us at all. That's like something that's slowly going away. Like that may have existed back during the old.
It depends where you are, though. Isn't like.
But I mean.
No, but aren't like certain areas more big on guns, like Texas and stuff?
Idaho, Texas, Kentucky, Kansas City. You can't in Kansas. You walk into someone's yard and they think you're trying to steal their sign, they'll shoot you.
You know what's funny is the only people who are big about guns in places like Chicago are gang members.
Well, see, that's completely a welfare problem.
Where I'm at, we're so much of a melting pot that bitch is cast iron, and I just want to throw it at a baby.
Oh, I don't like melting pots.
Oh no, Texas is pretty chill when it comes to guns and people, looking threatening, like they're gonna shoot you or something. Like, I have never come across anyone living in southern Texas that looks like he would probably shoot someone on his lawn. He'd probably just say, hey, "Get off my lawn."
But at least he's confident enough to know that he can back himself up should someone try to step up on him.
Yeah, if someone tried to enter his home without his consent or anything, he's got the right to shoot them right on the spot. I mean, in Texas, it's different from Kansas. In Texas, you cannot shoot someone dead if they're just on your property. The only way you can shoot someone dead is if they are literally trying to kill you. But you can fire a warning shot, and you can legally wound them with your gun.
I would shoot myself in the foot first, and then shoot them dead. Look, they tried to kill me. Look at my foot.
He's like an American guy, and like a sitting on his and if a fly landed on it, then he took his gun and then he shot the fly right beside his arm, so it died.
It reminds me, like, with the whole breaking and entering thing. That reminds me of something that happened, not relatively recently, but it's a further while back. So it's around like 2 a.m. I'm sitting here playing games like a normal green robot would do. And all of a sudden at my front door, I hear, the doorknob being jimmied and whatnot, and someone's trying to get in. So, I go ahead and grab my gun, and I'm thinking, by the time I get there, I wait there for about 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, does it really take them this long to get in? So at this point, I get this bright idea. If it takes them this long to get in, they're not going to be a threat to me. So I wait by the door, and I have my weapon ready. And the thing is, they jimmy it open, finally, and you would automatically think that they would straight up walk in and try and grab everything they can and leave, right? Well, no. One of the people, he puts his head in, and it's completely dark. Lights are out and everything, completely dark, and he's so wet looking around, and all of a sudden you hear his click, and then my voice comes out. It's like, that door was locked for your protection, not mine. I have never seen someone shit themselves so hard or run away that fast, covered in their own shit.
Oh God!
Amazing.
So for those people that says guns don't solve anything, they solve everything. One of you is going to be dead, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's see. What was it?
The whole. Okay, so this is where I'm starting to get a little bit passionate because of the far left. It's like guns don't kill people, or like they need to take guns. We need to take guns away. It's like, look, I can understand your position. However, I want you to try to physically take my gun away because you think all lives matter. I think no lives matter, myself included.
What's your view on people with mental illness owning firearms?
Which mental illness?
Not such a good idea.
But like we're talking more severe mental illness, like schizophrenia and more violent stuff too. Not like depression, ADHD, but like the more severe ones.
There is no correlation between being mentally ill and having the better likelihood of going out.
I'm asking because we're having a debate next week, and we already have one debater who's going to be debating the position that you have right there, right? Where that even if you have mental illness, you should still be allowed to own a firearm.
The thing is,
hold
on. When a Second Amendment was created, right?
Yeah.
It did not care whether you were mentally sick, physically sick, emotionally sick. It was meant to help defend yourself from anyone who would try to take away your rights. Period.
Yeah. Yes, but if you're not, if you don't know what's reality,
because someone might think that you have a mental disability, or that because you're in a chair, you should.
No. I'm talking about diagnosed. I'm talking about diagnosed, like schizoaffective disorder or full blown schizophrenia, or like
there are studies. There are studies you can probably find on Google. It's been a while since I've checked them, but let me see.
It depends on the person too. Each case is really, really different.
So then why are you trying to generalize it in all one question then? If each case is different.
No, it's for a debate next week. I'm not trying to answer the question at all. I'm not trying to.
Oh, here. I'll give you what I've looked up and read, and you can.
I'll just tell you what the question is.
You can go find it. There is no proof that more than 3% of people with mental illnesses cause murders with guns.
Well,
in fact, it is more likely that someone with a mental illness will be the victim of a gun shooting.
Don't get me wrong, though. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to own firearms. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not trying to take either position. I'm just trying to ask because we're looking for people who can debate that people with severe mental illness should not own guns. We have the pro side. That's easy to find.
Okay.
Even if you don't believe that position, if you can take it in a debate just to argue it and try and win some cash, then
You should do that.
I can't. I just can't. I have family members that are mentally ill. I can't. No more.
It's an academic thing, though. It's not even like I believe this position. It's more.
I'm someone that I don't know. I don't know.
So maybe I can put into words what he's feeling. The point is.
No, I know what he's saying.
Wait. I'm really trying to emphasize and not fuck this up. In the event that anyone should try to take your rights away, any of them the right to live, the right to be free, the right to enjoy what you want to, as long as it's not breaking the law.
Yeah.
Okay. Any rights like that. When they try and take those away, and yet because of their mental illness they can't defend themselves, no.
I think the only major reason why someone should not have a gun if they have mental illness, okay, is literally if the doctor talk and they can't distinguish reality from fiction. You know, if it's that case, then that's
then
really
they can
difficult.
join my team, since they think everyone should die anyway.
Well, see, like I said, there's only 3% of all mentally ill people.
Yeah.
That includes every spectrum of mental illness.
Yep.
Only 3% of them are even a threat to the human population.
Yeah, so I would argue that those people should not have guns, but everyone else is
like the good examples are sociopaths,
yeah,
violent,
narcissists.
No.
Hey, I'm a narcissist.
like guys like Vegan Gains,
people with violent split personalities, people with DID disorder.
Yeah.
And there was one other. It's not schizophrenia.
No, I think it should be based on
it's manic.
Vegan student is in the chat saying, "Hey."
Well,
I can't remember.
I think it should only be
Omniscient too.
Like, it should only be based on if a doctor says this person is a harm to themselves or others, then they shouldn't have a gun. But that's about it. I mean,
so then my question to you would be, why would they dictate that? What authority do they have to dictate that they're a danger to themselves and others?
Yeah, I don't know. The 20 years of medical school they went through.
20 years of schooling. Okay, so remember the stream yesterday, the difference between trade schools and actual bachelor degrees and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That sort of applies here. So just because you have 20 years of medical school doesn't mean you're going to be scratching your head when you look at some chart and be like, I don't know what this is. Oh, well, just mental illness.
But that's who determines it, is a psychiatrist or psychologist, you know.
I can guarantee you that more than 55 to 60% of psychiatrists are quacks.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the cases where they determine that they are a danger to themselves or others, and they have to call in authorities or whatever. In those
9
cases,
times out of 10, they were just afraid because they were looked at the wrong way, and they were like, my fifis were hurt.
Mm.
A lot of people who go into the field of medicine, whether it be mental or physical, whether you're a doctor or a psychiatrist, it doesn't matter anymore because most of the colleges are filled with egotistical women and boy boys who want to parade around this idea that
actually, majority of professors are men, but okay. Mm.
Like I said, right now the colleges for these positions are being filled and trained with egotistical women and soy boys. There's hardly any real people who would rather be themselves and not join the bandwagon of his propagandic nonsense in those fields.
I take big issue with people who say that, who have their own mental illness issues, deciding to be like, I'm gonna be a psychologist. It's like, well, okay, but get healing for your own issues first.
Well,
you know, hurting people hurt people. That's the way it goes.
Half the people with a mental illness, whether it be small or large, half of them usually don't even feel any different than your average person. It's the other people who can tell because it's not readily noticed.
So then let me ask this: vets who come back with PTSD and other mental illnesses. I'm not just specifically referring to PTSD. I'm talking about a different variety. Do you think that they should be able to hold guns when they have flashbacks and stuff like that.
Like I said, each case is like individual, though, right? There's different reactions to people. Like different people have different reactions. You know what I mean?
Right, but then by your definition, you cannot correlate one question as a generalization. Should people with mental illnesses be able to carry and possess weapons? Just based on that fact alone. So either your debate live stream is going to be really fucking long, or it's going to quit prematurely because you won't be able to establish a basis in which a debate can be formed.
Yes, we are. We're going to be specific about which mental illness we're talking about. We're going to be specifying that we're not talking about depression and ADHD. Okay. We're just going to be talking about people who have been determined to be a harm to themselves or others. Like that's why I think we should go with it. I mean,
well a lot of vets have been determined that they were harm to themselves and others, but yet they fought for a country doing that exact same thing.
But they weren't. But they weren't in that state, most of them, when they were fighting. They got in that state from the fighting. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a given. But the fact that he's trying to make is in the situation that you'd be in, if that subject matter comes up in your debate, it's irrefutable. You cannot debate that point.
But that's not up to me. That's not up to me to prove or disprove the claims I'm making or provide the citations. That's their job. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one debating. So.
That would almost be like saying, well, someone's grandmother has Alzheimer's, but yet she loves her 357 Magnum, right?
Yeah,
she actually loves it, carries it in her purse. She's even one of the people that, once a week religiously cleans the weapon and really appreciates it. But then it's like you come to the door, oh shit, who are you? Because Alzheimer's.
Kills her. Yep. No.
Yeah, but there's a good chance with Alzheimer's that she'll forget how to even use the gun. So,
I don't know. Muscle memory is pretty hard to forget.
But there is a difference between your body's memory and your mind's memory. So he's right.
No, I know there is. There are people who forget everything. They get in a car accident, they forget who they are and everything else. Let's say they were, I don't know, a baseball player or something. They still remember how to play baseball, though.
That must be a lot of damage to their brain then.
the fact that, so I guess the underlying premise where I'm coming from is the more you allow the government to control what you can and can't do, then you don't deserve freedom.
Is a psychiatrist government though?
A psychiatrist is paid to
psychiatrists. Yeah, they're not government funded.
No, but they are paid to make the government's job easier.
Right.
Okay, can I just add something here?
Sure.
You know that people say that people could be. I just need to give an argument that people say that you can take away the right to bear arms if they are mentally ill, depending on mental illness.
But look,
they have the right to arm bears.
That Texas shooter, kid was suicidal, right?
I didn't finish my point.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they can take make that they cannot have guns, which is taking away the right to bear arms for a specific reason, right? I know that back in the day, a woman who could be diagnosed with hysteria was then castrated because of that. So by people who are by back then judged to be educated then in the medicinal field, and
if I remember correctly,
good assessment. So therefore, just because somebody is educated, professionally educated, have the right to take someone's right away. Yeah, it's just kind of similar in one way.
Yeah, but other people have a right to be safe too, don't they? I mean, to play the devil's advocate.
If I remember correctly, back in the day, didn't hysteria mean that generally, like, the women were just horny and couldn't do anything about it?
Yes.
Something like that.
Oh, not
Yeah,
only
and
that,
the doctor.
not only that, they were also considered hysterical if they were on their period and no one would pay attention to them.
Yeah, and then the doctor would masturbate them in order to cure it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, many carpal tunnel syndromes were formed.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if they tried to do that because that's what the woman wants, she'll just take advantage of him and say, "He raped me! He raped me!"
And that's why people are breeding more and more cats, because the women in their 30s, they can't get enough of them.
Look, though, we do have to acknowledge something. Okay, the Texas shooter, for example, was suicidal, right? Said he wanted to die, and that he had written in his journal that he wants to kill himself after he's done the shooting, but he's too cowardly to do it. That's what he had written.
Well, yeah, but then there's also suicide by cop as well. I mean, there's different cases of different types of suicide.
I know.
I've seen like 2 or 3 instances where someone had a gun and cops were pointing theirs, like, drop the weapon. He didn't even point the gun at him. They had it up in the air and ran towards the cops.
Well, what I'm saying is we have to acknowledge that there is some sort of mental aspect to most of these attacks when they happen. If the person's like suicidal and whatnot,
Well, I mean, if someone's suicidal, if they're suicidal, it doesn't matter if they have a gun, a knife, or
if they truly want to commit suicide, they will find a way to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you might as well just say that in that particular instance, there's no real reason to deny. Like, well, I mean, no, I will say this: if you can prove without a shadow of a doubt the person has attempted suicide before, and they've done it in the presence of someone they knew and they survived it, I don't think you should sell that person a gun, because then you would have helped that person commit suicide.
But look, the average sane person, though, doesn't get the desire to. Well, they do, maybe in their heads, but
actually, so define average sane, because society these days are fucked up.
Yeah.
So by that definition, nobody should own guns.
Right, but a mentally stable individual does not do these shootings. They just don't.
Again, my point still stands. Define mentally stable.
There's only two states of mental stability. Mentally ill people, they're not like crazy individuals. They're not crazy. There's just something wrong chemically in their brain. The crazy people are people like sociopaths and people who literally
sociopathy isn't crazy either, though. Sociopathy isn't necessarily crazy either. There's something wrong in their brains too, where they can't process empathy or feel empathy and stuff. Like it's not that much different.
Apparently I'm a sociopath then.
If you cannot feel emotions towards anything or anyone, if you cannot morally identify with something at all, like even the act of
it's in the brain though. That's all in the brain too.
Right, but the thing is, half of the people who own a gun in the country of America, half of the people who own a gun, they don't use it. Look, we have 500,000 guns. We have 500 million guns in this country of ours, and 360 million people in this country. We have more guns than we have people in this country, and yet only 91 people die a day by gun. 91. That's it. Just 91 people a day, and not all of them are even murders. Only 10 of them are murders.
Yeah.
They don't commit. Mentally ill people do not commit most murders. In fact, they commit only less than 1% of murders.
But there is also because mentally ill people are still a small minority in a demographic rather than being the majority as people not being mentally ill. So
right, but because of that, they shouldn't even be considered as a problem right now. You want to cut down deaths by gun, you need to tackle the bigger problems, which is the welfare state and single moms raising a child. Because if the child does not have a father figure to teach him, He's going to grow up being a punk who's going to go out on the street and either get himself capped or he's going to freaking buy a gun off the black market for like $10 and cap someone else.
Motherfucking praise Doug.
Wait, did you say people who doesn't have mother figures?
No, people who don't father figures.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because mother figures doesn't. That would just be weird. I just want to know because that makes actually sense.
So
You
in
say not
a
father
world
figures. That
where
makes sense.
today's society, I don't know the exact percentage, but most are based in single motherhood. When let's face it, most women act crazy on a daily basis.
I will have to talk to you guys later. I gotta get ready for my show. So.
Okay.
Hey, send us the link.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jay Willie, I'll send you the link, and then if anyone else wants it from you, you can send it to them.
Yeah. If I, for example, can't join, I still send it to the other one.
Oh, he had left. But the underlying premise is in a society where I would say, I want to say half. I don't know the exact percentage. That is apparent from single motherhood, and let's face it, a lot of women act crazy on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's just factual.
You know, so with that being bombarded by all of that without the balance of a father figure, to at the very least show you how to navigate the waters of fucking, you know, your mom getting on your menstrual cycle and running your ass over.
Yeah.
You know, then what the fuck do you think is going to happen when that kid grows up? One of two things is going to happen. They ain't going to be able to identify the way they want to identify because of the fact is he's been raised by a single mom with no father figure and commit suicide or commit some other crimes. Or two, they're going to become a social justice warrior male feminist and they're going to have the feminist starter kit as well.
Oh.
But if they have a feminist...
Or even worse. Or even worse, there's another one.
That and they die.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Like if they are such a feminist starting point, then that doesn't really matter if they die. Then no, just kidding.
Oh gosh. Jay.
On the whole, I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I mean it would be preferable. It would be preferable because it would prevent a lot of problems.
The way that I would look at it is give them the education and the opportunity to change. If they're so stuck in their ways to where it's detrimental to society as a whole, which let's feminism is a detriment to the world.
It is. It's basically deteriorates a society, breaks it down. It creates
women and men have a role,
which is the society breaks apart, which makes it a society that
hey,
makes
Malachi,
it possible to involve women with the life of children next to it. That's kind of devastating for any population that encounters it.
Mm-hmm. And now take in consideration that this compounds each generation. Okay, if it's like say the same path, right? Single motherhood, right? Single motherhood compounded. Pretty soon, the gender roles will act. Well, I would say the gender appearances will be reversed.
No, because those.
He is right. He is right, Jay. If the human population were able to survive feminism for more than 1,000 or so years, men would start to look more feminine and women would start to look more masculine because of evolution.
Evolutionary trait, okay, the strongest survive. So with the substantial shift like that,
the most kids.
Well, with
the people that have the most kids where their feminists around, that would just be the people who follow patriarchal belief systems, which probably very often could be Islam.
Well, no, what he's saying if the human population can survive. If Islam took over the world, the human population would be done. It would be done. Because Islam is not a sustainable society. It's not a sustainable
from a source, the mouse experiment.
Yeah, but if you for example faces an Islamic society versus a feminist society, there is one society that's going to castrate the soldiers, and therefore they're going to lose.
You're correlating quote unquote patriarchal society with Islam.
No, I don't. I say that Islam is one of the most pressing forces when it comes to that are growing in societies that have a lot of feminism within them.
They are using feminism as a foothold to gain new land. That's what Islam is doing. That's the reason why
I would like to say that that's how Islamism does, because not all Muslims want to change the West, and actually social justice warriors, because social justice warriors are going to make like their Islamic societies, and they do not want that because they escaped an Islamic want to live in that. Even though that's probably a minority, I just want to mention that.
I mean,
So
yeah. Well, yeah.
I've heard that some people who believe in Islam that the Middle East and the West is better.
So, as a matter of fact, you can hear an example of single motherhood next door, if you heard the yelling at all.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, it's going on. That's why I muted the microphone. So yeah, perfect example. So by an evolutionary stance, what do we know about evolution, right? Creatures evolve to be based on their environment, to be able to survive the environment. When the environment changes and women are more catered to having their fifis met instead of actual logic, this continues on a very slippery slope. Compounded with each generation, you have those values compounded, trying to be enforced. Now, granted, some kids come out, they'll be like, why are you telling me that women are all powerful, more powerful than men? Then all of a sudden it's like, my views are different than yours, and all of a sudden their moms are going to screech with the force of 1,000 suns. But I mean, granted, there'll be kids born like that. It's like, well, that's just autistic as fuck. And so you're going to have some of those, but of course, based on societal norms, they're the ones that are going to be cast out. And then obviously you're going to get segregation again in the whole community of now, the minority conservatives against the majority feminists, and it's just. It's the pendulum method.
The majority are feminists. The majority are normies who just goes along with.
Well, I'm saying further on down the road, should this continue?
Yeah. Well,
but feminism is getting less popular.
We don't have to worry about Optimus's bleak future that he's describing too much, because the idea that women as a whole will actually follow feminism is a joke, because a lot of women, even if they do jump on the bandwagon to get a few shekels from a movie star or a fucking porn actor who they say claimed raped them after like 40 years and shit, even if they did do that, they will quickly go back onto the fucking bandwagon of patriarchy when they hit the wall of 40 years old and say, I need to find a husband and settle down with him. Because that's whenever they start noticing, I cannot just spend my life doing what I want because now I can't actually sustain myself. It's not going to work. A majority of women just don't feel like working after they hit 40. So
right. And that's true. While with that view, it may not be sustainable, but then you bring the government into it. See, when feminists outcry so much and they're the louder voice, the government takes note of that, and they do just what any other guy does back in the day when women start bitching and complaining. You give them what they want.
But see, that's because they're old fogies.
That's why so many of these Can I say?
Go ahead.
The thing is that there's so many feminazis. They want the women to have kids out of wedlock. and that they want the welfare state to take care of their kids by taxing the men higher than taxing women, because some feminists have actually proposed having higher taxes towards men than there is to women. So if a man and woman have the same job, men have a higher pay, because some feminists think that's, and there were actually some Swedish feminists that were trying to make that law that men should have more pay more taxes, but none of them were in the Senate, so they couldn't push that through.
Right, and realistically,
they wanted women to have to just be single mothers, and then they just want women to marry the state, basically.
right, and that's correct. And realistically, in the United States, women actually get paid slightly more than men.
Yep.
Because of the history of the whole equal pay, glass ceiling stuff. So what they did is they took a wide fucking brush and painted it across a wide demographic of all jobs and all stats, instead of specific, stuff like choosing to work less hours in order to stay home with family, and stuff like that, maternity leave and guaranteed the job when you get back. In different factors like that is what makes up for those numbers. Once you take into account for that, it was equal. Now women actually get paid slightly more because they continue bitching.
Yep. And if you give them what they want, they will continue to bitch until the glass ceiling is no longer a ceiling, but a skylight that can be opened and closed on the drop of a hat.
And
you say that they're whining, you cannot say that they are whining. You have to say, like, what laws, why I understand, but I just want to know how that works.
Well, the thing, okay, so the welfare state, take it away.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're not getting paid more; they're getting more money because of the welfare state.
The thing is, if they think that they're automatically going to be taken care of by the government and just continue to have kids, compiling the issue that I brought up earlier, then yeah, take away the welfare state, and I'll do you even one better. Require an IQ test threshold in order to even be licensed to have a kid.
No, you can't do that. That's eugenicist.
Yeah, but it's a nice thought.
Well, what you can't do is you can just say that people can have how many kids they want, but they do not have any sort of societal system that protects them. That you have to pay for everything themselves.
No, here's what I propose. If women want to be taking care of men the way they say they want to be taken care of, and they want to have all the power that goes along with being taken care of, and we get none of it, guess what? I say, just take women's rights away. Just take them away. Take their right away to vote. That is literally the only law you need to take away.
Technically, they didn't even acquire that legally, because men, in the United States, in order to vote, you have to be signed up for what we call the selective service. Back then was known as the draft. In order to even own land, you have to be signed up for the selective service, or otherwise known as the draft. All of these sanctions imposed on men, and women got handed to them on a silver platter with nothing else to be able to, with no responsibilities, I should say. One moment.
Like, I can guarantee.
That's actually true.
I can guarantee you, if you took women's rights right away to vote, things would go right back to the way they were. Everything would return to normal. Because guess what? All they really want is to see how far they can get on their own, because they think they can do it on their own, and they can't. Women and men have roles to play in society. That's the way we evolve. That's the way we are going to continue to evolve, even if feminism gets its way. Feminism thinks it can have women do all the things men can do because they don't like being tied to a man. Well, guess what? Since they're a small minority of women on this planet, and there's something physically wrong with their brain for some odd reason, they don't get to dictate what the species does in its future. That would be up to the majority of the species, because the minority does not dictate whether the species survives. That's thinking like a fucking dodo bird. And
Hey,
dodo
Cordy
birds,
Pumpkin.
dodo birds are just, well, dodo birds died for a very good reason.
Yeah, because they were autistic as fuck.
Well, they would commit
But
suicide as
I
a form
still
of
believe that
flight.
people have the equal right to choose what they want to do with their own life.
Right,
But
and
I
that's...
still also believe that people
Go ahead.
shouldn't be having their life choices enforced until someone else.
Right, and I agree. So the thing is, you have the freedom and the equal rights. Women actually have more privileges than men do. Just wanted to bring that up.
From what? Oh, sorry, I'm talking to my dad.
Oh, okay.
Let me mute.
Okay, so where was I at? I totally had a brain fart. Jay, help me out here. Where was I at? Or not? So, shoot. Totally forgot where I was. Okay, never mind. I think Jay might be lagging out or something.
No, I can listen.
Oh. I asked you where I was because I totally had a brain fart and there was like nothing on your end.
Yeah, my dad asked me something. I'm on vacation with him.
Yeah, I completely forgot where I was.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Guess I have amnesia and Alzheimer's. Quick, take my guns away.
Oh.
But the underlying issue is when you automatically think someone's going to take care of yourself based on the choices you make in life, that's a drain on not only your resources, but now the government. You're not going to care because, you know, Big Daddy Warbucks is looking out for you. You know, you take away the welfare states. Yeah, they can have all the kids they want. Now they have to provide for them.
Yep,
it's a great idea. And the best part is that if they want the welfare, they can't care for their kids. Oh, okay. Well, then they will have to get married so that they could have better economy. Oh, there is no other man that want to marry a woman that takes care of other man's children rather than his own.
I remember
and therefore
what I was
he
going to
said,
say.
well, only if you agree to be pregnant again, and if she does that, then it would be easier for her husband to connect with her child and her new child. Why? Because this is actually true. I had my parents talk about it a lot of the time. It's easier to accept your partner's children if they are the siblings of your own children. That's how my mother got to really like my sister, even though it's not her kid, because it's still the sister of her kid. So it's still the family of her family.
Right. So any
if single mothers still want to like be single mothers and they don't have welfare, they have to get married. But if then they have to be able to expect that the men that probably would like to have more kids and want more kids who don't care, well, those men are not, that mindset is not going to be inherent to next generation. So therefore, most men who can take care of those women would be those who want the woman to give them another kid.
Well,
and that
you're
would be good
operating
for those single mothers and for those men and for their children. Everything would be fine. Just get rid of the fucking welfare state, and the kids will naturally get a father figure in their life because the father figure.
Right, but if you look at history and the destruction thereof so far, you're operating under the assumption that men are going to want to return to the plantation after being told for so long that they're not wanted or needed.
But they are
No.
still
No,
wanted
the
or
thing
needed,
is there's
because
going
they still pay
they
taxes.
might be wanted or still needed, but more and more men are walking away from the dating game, the relationship, even one night stands because of the societal norm that we have now. Okay. More and more men are doing that because they are tired of being ground up in the dust. And now, when the women hit 30 and they've already had their kids and the welfare, hypothetically speaking, the welfare state has been taken away, and now they have to get married in order to even basically provide for their basic needs as well as their kids. What happens when a man says, "Nope, sorry, you wanted us to be away for so long. We actually learned how to adapt and now do both gender roles." Everything that's required and do it more efficiently to our own liking. Now we don't need you anymore. What then?
I think actually that's the case, because I'm thinking about having my kids, and I don't plan to have women to do that. I'm saving up my money to have my own kids artificially. They will still be my blood kids, but they will have to do the female role because I'm pretty much a feminine man, and that will work out perfectly fine. And so that you are right, because men can do both things. Actually, it's probably not, because if you compare people who are single fathers to single mothers, on average, single fatherhood is much better than single motherhood. But it's also that single motherhood only is just as good when they have shared custody, because that's not bad for kids. That's not if you have a mother and a father that you live with but not live with at the same time, they are separated but you still live with both your parents, then that's actually quite good for kids. Even if they live with just their mother, that's just bad.
I'm interested to I read your name as Rothvik. I don't know the translation because mine is apparently do.
Well, I can tell you how to pronounce it.
Well, I'm interested to see what your opinion is on this, like what the men walking away and then stuff like that.
I can actually tell you what my opinion is. Wait, hold on. Does my name appear as Do?
No, my name appears as Do. Yours appears as Rothvik.
Oh, okay. It's like, wait, that sounds weird. Anyway.
Wait, so that's your thing, right? That you are Rothvik.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
So then Do must mean you. Okay. Yep. Okay. Got it.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. We've solved the mystery.
Yes.
Anyway, no, my opinion on the whole, well, essentially MGTOW, men going their own way. Because that's basically what it is. Like, you don't even have to be part of MGTOW to go your own way.
Right. And well, okay, so I still claim the label, and for the reason it's like I am legitimately going my own way. I'm choosing to claim that label. A lot of people that claim that label, they're now following an ideology, and they're all following someone else instead of actually going their own way. So
yeah,
it's just,
I don't fucking understand that. It defeats the purpose.
right.
I mean, you could say that you're like in a group of people who are like-minded,
right?
And you're hanging out or whatever, like we are. But I mean, you don't follow someone because they have an idea that you like. You follow the person because they're charismatic, and you chose to do the same thing because it feels right. In this particular instance, you're not doing either, because in MGTOW, it's a little different. The label is what it really is, and it's an individual label for each person.
Yeah, so, it's what do what you would like with the resources you have, and live your life according to what you want to do, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. You know, and some could argue the fact is like, well, not getting married or not getting in a relationship is hurting society. So what? Society has been treating men so badly
that they decided to up and walk away, even become monks. What does that say about society? Fuck society.
Well, I mean, this has actually been going on a lot longer than just the past 20 years. Like,
right.
I'm gonna go back to what Jay mentioned before. Whenever I was talking to him in Discord earlier, he actually mentioned Hillary Clinton's statement that the primary victims of war are women because they have to live on without their loved ones who died in war. I'm like, that's so misandrous.
Really? When 80% of them have already cheated after the first week they deploy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. They're the victims. Fuck them too.
The problem with people today don't actually pick up a book and read, or even bother to look. Oh, Jay's gone.
Is he coming back?
No, I think he PC'd. I heard some crackle on his side. No, my opinion of that particular statement is that people nowadays, they don't bother to pick up a freaking history book or a freaking science book because evolution tells you everything you need to know about why women and men cheat on each other. It's not anything that's new. It's not something that's recent. It's happened before we even.
It's happened 3 times in history so far. It's enough to point to where it crippled societies.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing new to the human race since the human race became a thing. I mean, honestly, all we are is just a bunch of primates doing what primates do. We're just intelligent enough to understand that we are different from other primates. Holy shit! Oh, I got
and did you know that like just one, like a couple, isn't actually on human nature? Because because think about it. In a hunter-gatherer stage of civilization, right? They had to, spread the seed as far and as wide as they could in order to populate, right?
Polygamy is the natural state of human.
Yeah, polygamy is a natural state. Then religion came into the mix, and because they, in my opinion, and this is going to sound funny, it's because the people that brought religion to the mix were pissed off that they couldn't get one, much less see one guy with 5 women. So I mean, that's my opinion, and I'm intentionally trying to make it funny, whether or not it was.
Well, it's not really an opinion. It's actually proven fact. In the Bhagavad Gita, the very first religious text ever written, there is an insinuation and a text that was translated that implies that one of the writers of one of the stories in the Bhagavad Gita could not get laid. Like, he could not get laid whatsoever, and he was writing his frustrations into a story. And it was just, it felt so similar to a lot of beta men trying to get a mate. So you are right. It is a very good education. That is correct. Because
I was right and didn't know it.
It's too easy. It's too easy to see that in a book, the very first religious text even written, and say, "Wait a minute, I've seen this before at my local bar."
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. Religion was started because a man could not get laid because he was tired of all the polygamy going on around him, and he couldn't become part of it. Like, I mean, if you're going to get sloppy seconds to spur your generation forward into the ether of time, if you're gonna have to take sloppy seconds, take sloppy seconds. You want to expand your legacy? Don't ruin other people's lives just because you didn't get the girl you wanted. That's not how life works. I'm sorry. But I mean, back then people were dumber, so we are just now realizing this. So
Right, and now with it the way that it is, more and more men are smarting up, opening their eyes and walking away. I used to be married, and then I hit the age of wisdom. So it's with me surviving through that, and I remember always thinking, why am I not more angry? Because I was never really angry at the fact of how the situation happened, the divorce came around, stuff like that. I think that in the back of my mind, I knew it was going to happen, and I was mentally preparing myself for that. That is the fundamental difference between men and women, so to speak.
Yep.
Men can prepare and adapt to an oncoming situation, whether they're aware of it or not. Sort of like their spidey sense, and they use that based on logic. Okay, now with women, they're more emotional based. Perfect for nurturing kids as long as there's that balance with the father figure. I get that. But when they base everything on emotion and use no logic at all, that's when it becomes a detriment.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how the human race has survived. The men are able to adapt quickly to survive, say, another tribe coming in to attack them, or a wild animal coming in to kill their family. And the women,
Oh, I think you might have cut out a bit. Yeah, I think he's lagging out.
the mother to grow up and repopulate the human race. That's the rate. That's the way the human race has survived for millions of years.
And I like Jay's disclaimer there. Note: all uncontested opinions stated on my channel aren't necessarily endorsed by me.
It's something
I
that
like
you should
that.
say. Yeah, it's good.
Because
but you wanted to know my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry,
oh, yeah, definitely.
You wanted to know my opinion, and I wanted to wait for Jay to come back because I wanted him to hear it too. So I kind of
have a pretty good opinion.
But
I
usually say it like this: as if.
Well, I mean, Optimus wanted to know mine, so I was gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah, because if the thing with me is that if I continue along with my thoughts as an echo chamber inside my head, I can't really be reliable as a source, now can I?
No, but I wanted to wait for Jay because
right, but that's my fundamental thinking on garnishing, or garnering other opinions, or utilizing facts to have a discussion based on that. So that's why I primarily asked for the opinions, because I mean I can't.
I'll go ahead. Well, I was. Go ahead.
Oh, like if there was a statement that opposed what I thought, I wanted to listen to it and be like, okay, so is this actually valid? Is this validated? Is there proof of it? And if need be, if I'm wrong, change my mental processes to where it's like, okay, so since this is proven, let's incorporate this as well.
Right.
I mean, that's what logical people do, right?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share you my opinion about what I think of men leaving the plantation. Personally, I think it's a toss-up. I don't particularly think that that men have to come back to the plantation when everything settles down, but I don't think they,
will stay away.
Yeah, because a lot of men are the way they are because evolution wants the species to survive.
Right.
Evolution doesn't want to kill off everything that it touches because it's not that way. It's in a constant flux with natural selection. Evolution wants the species to survive. Natural selection wants to kill it.
Right, and I would probably correlate that with, like the saying of true force loneliness. The reason why they're going their own way is because they have difficulty maintaining or achieving like a relationship.
Yeah.
To me, this
is just like the vacation that every man in history has ever wanted to go on while they have the chance. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm going on a
Something I
mecation
used-
for once in a million years. You know.
Something
What's
I
up, Jay?
felt.
Jay, are you there?
Well, yeah. When you say the thing about working off the plantation, I would say that if you still have a lot of welfare money given to migrants and single mothers with your work, then you are not off the plantation. I mean, like, if you
Well,
are
Because your taxes are
if you
going
are
into
being
it.
forced to support a family, then wouldn't it be best that at least some of the families you're supporting are your own family?
well. See, this is
Just
how
my thought.
this is how
And
I view that.
like,
I view that, Jay.
oh, but I got a conclusion to my point, and that is
Oh, okay.
that yeah, I am going to have my own family. I'm just going to saving up all my money, and when I get enough money, I will be able to afford having kids. I will have my own family, therefore everything will be fine.
Well, yeah.
And you know, if that makes you happy, by all means, dude, go for it.
Yeah, because
You
if
know, only
not,
you
then
can
I'm just
determine
going
what
to
makes you happy in life, not someone else.
Yeah.
exactly. Therefore, uh, if not, then I do not want to be like those, like all of my ancestors that I have the name of. I know them from generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all those people are like contributed to the part of the future, which is why I'm here, right? And therefore they will be remembered and still be around in our history forever. Whereas, yeah, and I also want to be like them, those people, right? After I pass on, and I want to be like those people, right? And if I do family, then I'm just going to die off, like not leaving a trace. All humans are a continuation of the first living organism on the planet, a continuation of the line of the species and of their own family line, often their own ethnicity. And that's a legacy that every human got. And that's a legacy that is worth something, and it's something that's worth fighting for.
I could see that.
And I do not want to be the one that just like segregated, selected away to the history, the ones that nobody would, the ones who doesn't make an impact.
Right, I can understand that. I would also probably attribute that to DNA wanting to survive.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course.
exactly that. In fact,
know.
well, I was gonna provide a counterpoint that's equally impressive, but it doesn't make it any righter or wronger. If you want to, excuse my lack of grammar there, but
it's a grammar Nazi. No, it's
but
just fine. Go ahead.
but no, my friend had a grandfather who told him some pretty well, what is it? Mind blowing advice. Like, if you come across someone who thinks completely opposite of you, tell them that's okay, but I'll fight you if you get in my way.
Yeah, that's basically what you got to do. It's like, hey, look,
yeah,
it's like I was at work, right, and I was having a discussion with an individual, and my views and their views were polar opposites. And here they are getting offended, having their fees hurt, and I'm like, you know what? I can respect what you're saying. May not agree with it, but I can respect it. And then they're just continuing on. It's like, but yours are wrong. Yours are wrong. It's like, okay, so I gave you the courtesy of understanding and saying, hey, you believe what you want to believe, and now you're doing that. I guarantee you push this any further, we're going to have a personality conflict, and then it'll escalate into physical conflict. Don't fuck with me. I am 10 times your size. I will break you.
Well, see, that's where society fucked up. Like the whole fucking transition of men into soy boys happened way before our generation. It happened way before our generation. I mean, there's no longer the proper settlement of a disagreement. You have a disagreement that gets so bad that both parties cannot console their differences without a good old fist fight. A fist fight is what made friends out of enemies.
Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. And it's like you get
Like-
into a fight, right? And you have a real good fight, like one of those that just wears you out, exhausts you. Then afterwards, you literally pick them up. It's like, come on, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, it's like that. That was how you solved your differences. And the reason it is because it's men. Men can solve their differences by just hitting each other. You hit your foe like just
and it's
punch him
not
across the jaw. He punches you across the jaw. You both collapse on the ground, exhausted. Your muscles ache and everything. Eventually, you get up and you have a beer, and you don't give a shit whether or not the guy wanted to take your guns away anymore, with political correctness. Because at that end of the day, you both had your differences displayed in reality, right there in that fight, and you're just like, you know what? I can agree with you on a few things, but you know what? Let's just have a beer and just forget about it.
And even then, it wasn't about whether or not the opinions were right or wrong. It was the fact of you needing to get rid of frustration.
When I was like a kid, and another boy or another guy, depends on how young I was like mean to me, I would get angry. Then I started to punching him, even though he was my friend. And then my mother actually said that I was really good at why I did that, because or else I might have lost them as friends.
Well, that's the thing. Did he swing back? Because honestly, competitive.
Sometimes, but mostly not.
Being competitive, and even when it comes to physical altercation, it can be healthy.
Yeah.
Like you have boys in school these days hyped up on fucking Ritalin just because they don't have an outlet and they're expected to act like girls all prim and proper sitting in their seats. Well, these days they're like shaking their ass and being thoughts.
Yeah, my mother always said that boys are being badly treated in school environments, and that I was just one of the lucky boys who aren't as bad, unfairly treated as most other boys, which is technically true because I'm more quiet and more like to listen.
Jay, I have to interrupt you just right now because I have something incredible to input into what you both just mentioned just now. It's something I don't want to forget. So, my junior year of high school, I had a friend who literally came to school in a miniskirt. He wore a miniskirt on purpose. He wore a miniskirt on purpose because he saw what us three saw. He saw the boys being told they need to act prim and proper like girls, and all the girls were like getting away with like wearing booty shorts, freaking makeup that made them look like tramps. Like they started to I had a freaking classmate that looked like she was a gal from a Japanese freaking hooker pickup site. Like those freaking bleach tanned orange girls with the fucking leg warmers and the fucking big old luscious lips, and they hike their skirt all the way up and they try to get older men even though they're in high school. That kind of shit. That kind of shit is what the girls in my school looked like, and the boys were meant to be dressed up all prim and proper and everything.
Hellbound says maybe. Oh, go ahead. I didn't know you finished or not.
Oh, sorry. No, I just wanted to let you know what the girls looked like in my class.
Yeah.
So,
Hellbound says maybe it's not a good idea to have the teachers armed because we're not Israel, and that they expect to be part of the military or have some military training. Yes and no, and solely for the reason was if teachers had military training, we wouldn't have soy boys in school today. I guarantee that.
Well, yeah, but you want to know what the teacher said to my friend when he came in with a miniskirt?
What's that?
They pulled him out. They pulled him outside immediately, and when he got back, he literally told me in a whisper during the self-study session of the class, said that they told him that you're not supposed to wear that. You're not. That's not the dress code for for the school. Like, really? I couldn't tell the difference. Because, honestly, you know, me and him were both Ritalin and Adderall takers. We both had hyperactivity problems because we were boys. And the idea that women and girls at our age just never really had any hyperactivity to them at all, hardly ever, made it so clear that what they were doing was they were trying to get us ready to start wearing fucking skirts. I can guarantee you. They were getting ready to have us wear fucking skirts. And I bet you anything, in 10 or 15 years, that Sweden is going to have their boys in elementary school starting to wear skirts instead of pants.
Well, I guess
That
on
country's
the
insane.
I guess on the bright side, we'll be able to feel a comfortable draft against our balls.
Irish people can
I
already
remember
do
when I
that.
was-
Same with Scottish.
Oj, get den
I am Scottish and I like to wear things like that. It's so comfortable. And I also remember when I was a little boy, I was having a sleepover with my friend, and I really wanted to try on his sister's mini skirt. So I did that, and I thought it was like really funny and comfortable. But I didn't really want to like wear it otherwise because I thought that was funny to do one time because you want to know how that feels like. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend
Like
only wore it
that's
for sport.
normal. That's just what kids do.
Yeah.
Sometimes girls want to do things to be a boy, and some boys want to do something to be a girl. It doesn't mean anything that they're just normal children. Something that's people need to get when children are playing dress up. They just want to feel how it feels because they're kids, and kids get yellow sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, kids are probably the most mistreated out of all demographics. They are. Because they are literally stated in a law that they are stated to be property. They are property. They aren't even
Wards
people.
of the state.
Yeah, they aren't even people according to the state. They are property. That's what a child is. It's fucking fucked up. So, can't say no to
I'm
anything.
almost not a kid anymore. I'm almost a grown up.
So I think we can all come to the understanding that society is utterly and truly fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But it is probably always going to be. At least I
Well,
can do my
that's
best.
why I said we should just kill everyone. Shit, myself included.
Just
No
being
discrimination.
and being happy.
I don't know. I mean, I could agree, but then I wouldn't be able to finally get to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a reason to live. Yep. Okay. I will postpone the destruction of the human race.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, everyone. Something that I can definitely say Disney won't fuck up because they have Japan holding their hand the entire way. Yeah.
There is a people in Africa who is called bongo people, and that's why you have bongo drums.
So
Bungo. Can I tap on their head and it makes a hollow sound? Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to correlate this.
If they would tap on the head and make a hollow sound, then they will be empty in the skulls.
But I want to play George of the Jungle theme song.
George of the jungle, dog as you can be.
Well, actually, all the bongos are black, so.
Hey, so are the tour guides in George of the Jungle.
Oh, makes sense.
Oh, those were some of my favorite characters in George of the Jungle 1 and 2. Because Oh my god, those tour guys were amazing.
Right. By the way, I put the link to my Discord in the Hangout. Because after this, I'm gonna be doing the whole trivia thing.
Ah, right. Wait, what kind of trivia is it? Just like general game trivia?
It's going to be anything and everything video games.
Oh dear.
Like, I could ask a question on a specific character, or I could ask a question in like, what year was this game released, or what was the most highest grossing game of all time,
Or who made this game?
Right? Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't think I'd win that. I don't think I'd win any.
What do you think? I would just go ahead and give a game away with no monetary cap on it, just for like, in this game, what happens?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. I'm just saying that, like, even though I'm a gamer, I don't know enough about games like I should.
Right.
I mean, I know, like I'm not good with names. So if you asked me who made this game, I could point out a picture of them, but I would never be able to tell you their name without actually.
Then I will allow 30 seconds for you to draw them.
Nah, that doesn't work that way. No, see, like I'm not good at trivia games because there are just too many facets of the trivia that I could answer if there were other ways to answer it, and then there are just too many other portions that I'm just not good at all. So I'm just like,
well, the Discord I posted, it's not just trivia as well. Every so often, I'll do a key drop. I'll do giveaways based on just general questions.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not
sweet
just
idea.
Yeah, it's not just generalized to trivia. It's I have a Steam group specifically for O&A giveaways. It was originally Vantum giveaways. I don't know if you knew that group or not.
No.
I think at one point we had like 120,000 people in that group.
Holy shit.
So, along with my YouTube channel, that's the main platform in which the games will be given away, live chat and everything. Just a wide variety. Like, I stream video games. I love doing it, and I figure with the type of money that I'm making, if I can go ahead and make someone's day, that's fantastic.
Well, you just earned another subscriber.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so I typed in your name, and the third video down from your channel, it says Optimus Prime versus Jesus Christ. Fight to the death, or just a meme?
Okay, so with chat, I think that political party should be called Final Solution. The one that destroys humanity. And then Hellbound says it can't be any worse than a bipolar man screaming about how fucked up the world is and wishing autism upon some idiot's kid. I think that would be like male feminists right there. Yeah. So I mean, we already have those. Why not just, yeah.
It's like the final solution: homicidal green robot, or weird picture guy in a moon.
I would think it's genocidal green robot, because it's not. I would say homicide indicates a notion of bias. It's like, no, I don't want to discriminate. Kill everyone.
Well, no. See, homicide can mean one of two things. Homicide could mean good guys killing bad guys, or bad guys killing good guys.
Wait, so then who would be the good guy and who would be the bad guy?
You never know until you actually use forensics.
Are there really good or bad guys? Really?
Well, I mean, just like Batman, it's like either either you die young enough to be the hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Oh, that is some deep shit there.
You know,
Like-
and
Yeah.
just take in consideration, what if there was a video game out there, right, where you had to make decisions along the way, and this was an extremely long game, okay, and each decision you make was more and more morally difficult to do, and you're the hero, right, and you're making all these choices, and almost all the way through to the end of the game, you realize you turned into the villain.
Well, see, actually, there was a game I remember.
The Fable series.
Oh, right. That or Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy what?
Final Fantasy 15.
I haven't played that one yet.
Okay, well, I can give you a good. Oh wait, no, that would spoil it.
Well,
No.
one of the games that I actually like that is actually underrated is Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus.
I never played that one either.
Oh, that was a PS2 game. I think it was like Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, so it was like a. Wait, no, what? That'd have been. Might have been a PSP game.
It was originally for the PS2 because I owned a hard copy of it.
Then maybe it was
I
the
have
one about.
a PS2 behind me right now.
Okay. No, yeah, you're right. It was the one with Zack before he was when he was killed by Sephiroth. It led to Cloud and Sephiroth being like at each other's throats all the time. It was like the prequel to Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I've got a gist of what happens, and I haven't played it, but I have a gist of what happens.
But in relation to the saying, either you die young enough to be the hero or you live long enough to be the villain, I wholeheartedly believe in that. Because if you look at society as a whole, right, you're born at a certain time, you grow up with a certain standard of morals that at the time you thought was right. Then when you grow older, society shifts and now tells you that you're wrong. Even though you know in your heart you are morally right.
Yep.
And now the perception has shifted on you to be a villain because of your beliefs. It gets pretty bad when you watch like the whole good guy versus bad guy movies and you empathize more with the bad guy because you wonder what circumstances led him to be that way.
Right. I mean, I can totally understand where you're coming from.
Like Infinity War, right?
Yeah, it's a trope. It's a very, very good trope.
Dude, the one out of the two instances where it tugged on my heartstrings. One was the entire fucking backstory of Thanos. And two is Groot at the end.
Yeah, I mean, when you've read comics, all your life.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. Like I haven't gotten to like Marvel Z.
Yeah, when you read comics all your life, you kind of get into a mindset of how a character is, and then when you see it completely different from what you thought you knew it as, it changes everything in like a split second. And I mean, just like the issue where Thanos was defeated by Squirrel Girl, like the real Thanos was defeated by Squirrel Girl, like that right there destroyed my expectational window.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, Adam Warlock is going to appear in the second one.
Wait, who?
Adam Warlock.
Oh. Okay.
You do know the comic books, right?
That one, I've heard the name. I don't know much about it.
Adam Warlock. It's a synthetically created human. And I'm not talking about Vision in Infinity War. I'm talking about a celestial, an artificial human being that is a celestial.
How?
Let me pull it up.
Like,
it's been so long since I've actually read that specific comic.
I don't know. I mean,
but in the storyline, Adam Warlock is the one that defeats the Thanos that everyone knows in Infinity War.
really?
Yep.
Oh, that one's probably gonna be watch.
Well, Adam Warlock is like Doctor Strange on steroids.
I was wondering what they were going to do now that Doctor Strange is gone, because now if he's gone, who's keeping Dormammu? You know, the threat that's worse than Thanos, even with all the gems in the Infinity Gauntlet, from coming through. Because like Dormammu is like he'd swat Thanos away like a fucking fly.
See, now this is a topic I can get into. I'll post the link in a hangout. So Adam Warlock is an artificially created human who was born in the cocoon at a scientific complex called the Beehive. The goal of his creator, the Enclave, was to create and subsequently exploit the perfect human. While in a cocoon, he became aware of his creator's plans for him. He awoke from the cocoon and rebelled. Not having a childhood or parents, Warlock was lacking in maturity and restraint. He first met Alicia Masters, who was brought to the Beehive to sculpt his face, as he initially radiated so much light that a sighted person could not see through. She found him encased in a cocoon from which he shortly emerged, destroying his creators that he had hated so much, and teleported away. Warlock later came into conflict with the Fantastic Four and Thor. During his encounter with Odinson, he was killed when he attempted to force Thor's sometime paramour Sif to become his mate. Adam was revived and his behavior improved when he met the being known as the High Evolutionary. Under his guidance, Warlock's life was given direction and purpose. Warlock also came into possession of the Soul Gem. The Soul Gem, one of the Infinity Gems, allowed Warlock to sense the souls of others and draw them into a dimension contained within the gem. Warlock was then transported to Counter-Earth in an attempt by the High Evolutionary to create a utopian society out of the framework of the original Earth. Unfortunately, it had fallen under the influence of the Man-Beast, a wolf that had been genetically modified into humanoid form by the High Evolutionary in a process of ending the Man-Beast's regime. Warlock's narcissism led him to another death. This time by crucifixion. Yep, okay. Warlock uses powers to resurrect himself. Who do you know that can die and still uses powers to resurrect himself?
Deadpool?
No, I'm talking like spell-wise. I'm not talking genetic-wise.
Oh, okay. Well, no one that I can name off the top of my tongue in Marvel, at least.
Now check this out. Warlock, in recreating the resurrection of Christ on Counter-Earth, led to the creation of an organized religion planet-wide. This also was the first step towards Warlock's God complex. Traveling in the Hercules cluster, Adam learned of the oppressive Universal Church of Truth that worshipped the Magus. Appearing to Adam, Magus revealed that they were the same being in one alternate future, which is Earth 7528. The Magus uses
Now
Soul
you're
Gem.
getting confused.
That's Marvel for you.
That's Marvel. See, the thing is, with Adam being a Celestial, he can travel between universes at will. Because Celestials are unique. Meaning that, like, if you don't have the unique trait, that means there's a copy of you in each universe, similar and alike. Now, Magus might be Warlock in another universe, but they were infinitely different.
Yeah, it's sort of like how Planeswalkers in, say, something like DC Comics. Planeswalkers in DC Comics, they kind of, whenever they walk through the planes, they enter another world, another Earth, they encounter someone that acts or is just like them. They could be completely different to the point where it's like politically polar opposite. Like Batman is to Owlman. Owlman is a complete douchebag villain. And is exactly the same thing as Batman is, except.
Oh, I got a theory on Batman and Joker too.
Well, for now, let's focus on Warlock.
Okay, so where was I? The Magus used a soul gem to saturate Adam's body with a beacon radiation that summoned the In-Betweener, inhabitant of the realm between fact and fantasy, who took Adam to his domain, where he was driven mad. Emerging as the Magus, the Warlock discovered he had returned 5,000 years into the past and began building his church. Aware of his history and fearing the Magus's existence would deprive him of someday owning Adam's soul gem, the mad god Thanos of Titan attempted to prevent the occurrence by plucking a young child, Gamora, from an alternate future and raising her to be Magus's assassin. En route
It reminds me
to...
of Guardians of the Galaxy. It reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, well, Gamora's dead now, so it won't work anymore.
Well, if we're basing it off of that storyline, then Adam was never killed.
Okay, can we please not spoil Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think like that story.
Sorry.
So, en route to his destiny, Adam was imprisoned on a church starship, the Great Divide, where he teamed up with his fellow prisoners, Pip the Troll, and absorbed the soul of Captain Autoculus into his gem against his will. Later on trial on Sirius X, the church's homeworld, Adam absorbed Judge Krator's soul, thus unleashing of his soul gems vampire-like appetites was possibly caused by Spexor of the Ring Shippers, aka Prime Movers, of Tarkus, in his first bid to prevent Warlock from interfering in his theft of Counter-Earth for mysterious Beyonders. Now, Beyonders are what's classified as the Celestials.
Yeah.
So realizing that the gem was sentient, thirsted for souls, and could not be removed, Adam sank into despair. Gamora joined Warlock and Pip on Homeworld, but Magus easily thwarted Gamora's assassination attempt, then doused Adam with the beacon radiation.
Wait,
Gamora...
can we are you going to go? I used to go and get something. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Well, we can stop here because for now, because I wanted to actually ask you something.
Sure.
About, no. I was gonna while you're gone, I was gonna talk with Optimus.
Sure.
Okay, so help me here, Optimus, because I don't know what is a god and what is not a god or a celestial all the time in Marvel Universe, because it's not clearly stated half the time. And that's because, well, there were different writers and everything in Marvel just, didn't agree with each other. So, help me out here. Is Odin considered a celestial, considering he dies and rebirths every single time Ragnarok happens? And is the reason why Thor and Loki always come about.
Let me take a look here. I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me look that up for you.
Okay. I would like someone else's opinion, because my interpretation of it is Ragnarok happens quite a bit.
Yeah. Ragnarok happens, and it's because of the sister.
Yep.
In the comic books, it was his mother. So, yes. Short answer.
Odin is a celestial then.
So Odin helped found the councils of godheads who interceded when the extraterrestrial celestials threatened to cut the gods off from Earth. Odin constructed the unstoppable armored destroyer and the Odin sword should he face the celestials in battle. Odin engaged Mad Titan Thanos in a battle that ended in a stalemate. And that was after Odin mistook Thanos' effort to cure Thor of warrior madness as an attack upon his injured son. So later, Odin persisted during a subsequent battle with Surtur. Thor assumed his father's place and claimed the Odin power, but it departed from Thor just as Ragnarok finally came to Asgard, assuming a child's form. The Odin power helped lead Thor on a journey to realize those who sit above in shadow had manipulated Asgard for ages. So basically, it's just the Odin sleep. It's like a Phoenix ability.
Oh, okay, so basically that's okay. So that's what happens. So it's not that he dies and is rebirth. He's reborn like in the actual Norse myth. He just goes to sleep after Ragnarok happens, and then it just starts all over with brand new children and brand new gods. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but with Adam Warlock again.
I am back now.
Welcome back. So, Gamora's ineffectiveness forced Thanos to intervene, and a primal battle between Magus Life Force and Thanos Death Force allowed Adam to enter the Titan's time portal and follow his Kismet trail. Choosing the shortest path, Adam saw himself dying only months later and absorbed his future self soul into the gem. The two timelines thus diverged, and the Magus seemingly ceased to exist. Soon after, yeah, this is when shit gets real. Soon after, Adam witnessed the rapid extinction of the stars and used his soul gem to track the culprit, the Star Thief, back to Earth. The Star Thief's body was slain while his mind was occupied in battling Warlock. Arriving home, Warlock perceived himself as wraith-like and larger than the solar system, an illusion generated through Adam's soul gem by the Sphinxer to keep him at bay. Later, while gaining his perceptions, Warlock encountered Spider-Man on the moon and helped forth the Stranger's bid to steal the Gardener's Infinity Gems. Believing Counter-Earth destroyed due to another Sphinxer illusion, an enraged Adam attacked the High Evolutionary with his soul gem and forced him to escape death by becoming disembodied intelligence, leaving Counter-Earth ripe for the taking. Meanwhile, Thanos procured 5 Infinity Gems, combining them and the power he had siphoned from Adam's gem in a Magus battle into a single large synthetic gem that he planned to use to extinguish the stars as a present to Mistress Death. When they interfered, Thanos killed Gamora and lobotomized Pip. Adam absorbed their souls into his gem. Thanos' attempt to destroy Earth's sun was opposed by Warlock, Captain Marvel, and the Avengers.
Well, I just need to tell you something. I got the Hangout link from ShareView, and I intended that you will have that link that you gave me. I send it to you guys because I need to finish this. So I tell you can speak a short time more because then I tell you when you need to finish.
Sure, I'm almost done reiterating his life anyway. In battle, Thanos mortally wounded Adam. As Warlock lay dying, his past self arrived from Thanos' time portal and absorbed his soul. There's that circle right there. Weary of the many losses and struggles, Adam actually welcomed death. He found himself with the soul gem's other victims in Soul World, a paradise of understanding and contentment. Thanos claimed Adam's gem, but the newly arrived Spider-Man temporarily freed Warlock's spirit. As the ultimate Avenger, Warlock turned Thanos to granite with just a touch. Warlock's body was then buried on Counter-Earth.
Huh.
So that's why it's said, Adam Warlock's coming into existence, the second one. Has to.
Well, that might explain why they're going with the original Avengers team. I mean, The original Avengers team was only the 6 we had before, for the main 4 plus Hawkeye and Black Widow, and then we had Ant-Man and Wasp. Those were the main teams.
Well, Wasp wasn't even involved in the first one.
Well, I know, but the main 8 Avengers were those 8 in the comic.
Right.
And then they added Black Panther, Spider-Man, Wolverine, freaking Patriot, all bunch of different characters came in, which I thought was weird that they added in all these extra Avengers that didn't come in until like after some of the main Avengers quit. You know, like that was weird. So I guess I figured out why they did it though now. But honestly, I can't wait for them to show Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yep. Captain Marvel. I also hear that there's going to be an introduction of Marvel, like the Kree. There's like a rumor going around that like Marvel is actually going to be somewhere in the next movies that are going to come out. Which would be kind of interesting because we already have an introduction of the Kree into the Marvel Cinematic Universe via the Inhumans and how Coulson was resurrected.
Wait, so are we which Captain Marvel?
Well, Miss Marvel. Well, not Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel, as in when Marvel died, or in some cases in the comics went back to the homeworld of the Kree. In some cases,
well, there's okay. So there's 7 different Captain Marvels. Okay, and this is era wise. This is Janice Vale. That's the first one. Then it's Hysta, Hysta. Then there's Marvel, which actually isn't a female.
Yeah.
Then there's Monica Rambeau, and there's Phyla Vale. Then there's one that's unrevealed, that member of Next Wave, and then
Carol
there's
Danvers. Carol Danvers.
Then there's Novar, which is a Kree.
Carol Danvers is the one I'm talking about.
Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers is the Captain Marvel I'm talking
about. Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, there's a different interpretation for how she got her powers in different comic books and everything, but a lot of the more popular ones involve her having had interaction with the Kree. And I believe that might actually be something that could be a thing, considering Kree have been a major influence in the side stories of Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D., as well as the fact that Coulson was resurrected by a dead body.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't see how, considering that Carol Danvers worked directly with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while before she became Captain Marvel, wouldn't have access to Kree blood and in turn becoming a superhero from that. I don't see how that.
If you're questioning about the powers, so Colonel Yonrog kidnapped Carol and then used her in baiting the conflict with Marvel. In the course of the battle, Carol and Marvel were caught in the explosion of the Kree Psych Magneton device.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the ones I remember.
Yeah, so while Marvel was apparently unaltered by the event, Carol was now a perfect hybrid of Kree and human genes.
There's also the one where she was attacked by a Kree drone, or maybe it wasn't Carol, but it was someone that I remember who was very similar to her personality.
Well, that would be Novar, which is a Kree warrior.
Well, a Kree drone came to Earth to survey it for possible resource gathering, and Marvel had been on Earth as a person to study it, and try and protect Earth from the Krees. I can't remember what their fucking head is called. What the fuck is their head called? They're that giant fucking brain in a fucking jar that they have as their fucking leader. I can't remember what it's called. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah.
Regardless, he tried to reason with the drone, which was projecting the image of that, and the drone fired and it hit Carol or whatever her name was. It might have been Carol, it might have been not. There's several different versions.
Well, that's the thing. If they're actually going to follow the storyline, then
would it really be Carol Danvers?
Well, if it was Carol, like let me read up on the background, see where it fits in.
I mean, I would like it to be Carol. Her attitude and everything conflict.
Well, the thing is, like, what I think is the trailer that came out for Captain Marvel was a fan made one.
Oh.
Okay, so one of the byproducts of Captain Marvel being genetically engineered with the Kree by accident, there were two separate personas. And then they eventually merged.
Okay, I see. There was also a Captain Marvel that somehow created by Rogue.
Yeah. Well, that was Carol.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Let me check. Okay, so Destiny had previously prophesied that Miss Marvel would be involved in an event that would destroy the life of Mystique's foster father, Rogue. Mystique had vowed to destroy Miss Marvel before this could happen. So Rogue tried to use her power-absorbing abilities on Carol. Something went terribly wrong, and she absorbed too much of Carol's persona, making the transfer permanent. Driven mad by Carol's thoughts and memories, Rogue threw Carol's body from the bridge. Amazingly, Carol was rescued by Spider-Woman. At the hospital, Carol was identified and diagnosed as tabula rasa, a blank slate. Jessica Drew called in Professor Xavier of the X-Men, who was able to pull forth Carol's memories and personality from her subconscious. However, he was unable to restore her emotional connection to those memories and experiences.
Emotional connection.
Carol and Jessica spent some time at the X Mansion while Carol recovered from her ordeal. During this time, a non-powerless Carol confronted the Avengers and vented her anger for their betrayal of her. Carol remained with the X-Men for a brief time, during which she was often accompanied them on missions. One such mission led to Carol's capture by the alien Brood. Fascinated by her Kree human physiology, the Brood performed experiments on Carol's genetic structure. This unleashed the full potential of Carol's Kree human physiology, transforming her into the cosmic-powered binary. She then turned into a Celestial.
A non-binary Celestial.
Carol now possessed more power than ever due to her link to a white hole.
White supremacy.
Oh no, it's white. It must be white supremacy.
That's racist. And then the thing is, she rechristened herself as Warbird and rejoined the Avengers.
Oh gosh. She basically became a female Miss Dr. Manhattan. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So if they're going along the storyline,
well, they're probably going to have two Celestials then, aren't they?
Well, I don't think Miss or Captain Marvel is going to be in it. I mean, if Adam Warlock's in it, that's gonna be it. You won't need to have Captain Marvel.
Because he'll just touch Thanos and he's dead.
Well, if it's specific to the storyline, he'll just turn Thanos into granite.
Well, you know Hollywood, they'll probably go all full bore, you know.
We'll go Michael Bay on it.
Yeah, they'll probably explode. It'd be like Thanos chunks everywhere. Big laser.
Samuel Jackson. I don't feel so motherfucker.
Yeah. You know what I really want them to do though? I really want them to buy back the rights to X-Men. I need them to buy back the rights to X-Men because this is why. Thanos would suck Phoenix's dick hard.
Thanos would suck what?
Thanos would suck the Phoenix Force's dick so hard.
To be honest, I mean, even Wolverine and Rogue, Thanos would fall to them.
Oh, that is a true. Yeah, that is actually a good point, considering the fact that. Well, I mean, if he could be beaten by Deadpool, which is a completely normal guy with regenerative powers.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Sarcasm.
Yeah, Captain Sarcasm. Oh god. Like, even Dr. Xavier would fucking melt his brain.
Yeah.
Or
if you remember, Thanos bitch slapped Galactus. Broke the seal in a Silver Surfer's mind that prevented him from having memories of his home planet.
Well, Odin also headbutted Galactus.
Yeah, and in Marvel World Z, Galactus was eaten by zombie Marvel characters.
That was weird. That was so weird. Oh man, it's like, is that the Hulk bunching on his big toe?
And then there's a hole in his stomach, so he just like eats, and then he gets it out of his stomach, and it's like, God, it sates the appetite.
Like, I love how. Oh! Remember the most ridiculous thing ever? Ghost Rider fucking defeating Galactus with his penance stare.
Where in Marvel World Zombies?
No. Just in general, like there was an issue where Ghost Rider literally penance stared Galactus when Galactus was trying to eat the world, and he just penance stared him, and Galactus is like, ah! He's like screaming and everything. Like he can't deal with all the lives he devoured for no reason.
Oh yeah.
That would suck. Like imagine
guilt, that is guilt on a feminist magnitude.
I mean, imagine.
So sorry.
I mean, I understand Galactus has to eat, but there are the exceptions where he just killed the planet because he wanted to. And those moments are going to be the ones where he's going to get the full measure of the penance stare.
Yes.
Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Ghost Rider does not fuck around.
So I know we're taking up time on Jay's stream, and he really wants to go over to
No, I don't want to go over. Are you saying that you guys can go over because I need to like go I need to go in a short time. I will tell you when I need to go.
Oh, okay.
I actually had a thought. Like, okay, in that case, I actually had a thought that I wanted to bring up. Since Ghost Rider is on the topic, what if Ghost Rider penance stared Thanos?
Oh, dear sweet baby Doug.
that Thanos would be on the ground so bad.
Well, I don't think so, because
don't think so?
No, because look how he justified killing half the universe. It was to make sure that the universe would still survive. because of the resources. It was a finite universe with finite resources. As a matter of fact, I would think that he would still think the same way and not be affected of it at all. I mean, given the fact that, you know, in the movie he killed his fucking daughter, Gamora, just to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah. From the most unlikely person. Let's be honest.
Yeah, oh yeah. I kind of shit myself when I seen him.
That, like, right there, that is like the one person you should fear more than Thanos.
Yeah.
Because, especially if he has the soul gem. Like, holy fuck.
Well, no, he couldn't get in the movie. He couldn't
Like,
get the soul gem.
No, but he was guardian of it. Still, the idea that, I mean, I knew he wasn't dead since the gem that teleported him was the space stone. It teleports people. That's what its job is supposed to do. I knew he wasn't dead in Captain America. There's no way they'd kill off such an important, iconic Marvel character.
Right.
That easily. Like, that's just not something to do.
So
like,
check it out.
Yeah.
Switching tracks here. You want to hear my theory on Batman and Joker?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so this big old giant battle with Apocalypse happens, right? Justice League is going after it, and it's Batman's turn to save the universe. Batman is actually doing pretty well in kicking Apocalypse's ass. Okay, so now
you mean the planet, right? The planet?
No, Apocalypse.
Wait, but Apocalypse is a Marvel villain, isn't he? Isn't Apocalypse an X-Men villain? Isn't he like one of the first mutants?
Yeah, it's X-Men.
Wait, so why is Batman fighting Apocalypse?
And realities and different. Honestly, Marvel has different universes, and you can't possibly fathom one joining the other.
No, I was just wanting to know if you had a specific reason for why Batman was fighting Apocalypse. That's all I.
Well, the way that I would probably justify it is that, you know, the universes collided, because I mean, in the universe, Marvel and DC existed, right? So I mean, you had heroes all over the place. Just think of it like different factions. Well, different factions can combine up when fighting evil, right?
Right.
That's how I would justify it.
Okay.
So he's fighting Apocalypse, and he's about to have Apocalypse become dead. D-E-D, dead. So, as Apocalypse's one final move, he opens a portal, kicks Batman through it. He lands on the ground rather pretty hard. You know, he's in pain and whatnot. He gets up and he recognizes it as his hometown, Gotham. Okay, so he gets up. He's in pain. He's clutching his stomach, but he's in a tattered bat suit. So he changes into some clothes that he found on a clothesline. But because he's not a dick, he left his bat wallet full of money, you know, on the windowsill of the people that he took the clothes from. So now he's walking down the street trying to make sense of where he's at, and he comes across a specific alley. In this alley, he hears talking. When he crosses to the alley, he sees his younger self, his mother and his father. Now, at this point, he's like, oh shit, they're still alive. I can save them. And so he's looking around frantically for the person who murdered his parents, right? Then the realization suddenly hit him. There was a reason why Apocalypse sent him back in time.
Oh, no.
So it was either kill his parents and become the Batman and save the universe, or save his parents and doom humanity?
Oh.
So what does he do? He reaches into a coat pocket and pulls out a snub-nosed 38. And with a near photographic memory, he says the exact words that the mugger decided to say on that night and shot his parents. He then ran away, leaving, his younger self wailing into the night. Well, crossing a bridge over a giant lake or river, he's thought about what he's done and he can't come to terms with it. And so he throws himself off the bridge into the water. Right? You cut out the scene there. Cut to morning. Paramedics and police drag a body out of a river that still seemed to be alive. Pale white due to the cold. Fucked up colored hair. And one of the paramedics could swear he heard laughter. Almost sort of like the man knew the funniest joke in the world, but couldn't remember what the punchline was.
You went with a killing joke sentence there. I love how you did that. I can't remember the punchline. Oh well, I guess I'll laugh anyway.
So my theory is the Batman is Joker, and that's why neither of them can kill each other.
Because they secretly know.
No, because Joker either secretly knows or had his mind wiped due to the concussion from throwing himself off the bridge. But remember, theoretically, if you were to go back in time and meet your younger self, you would feel like you had a connection with that person, right?
Right.
So then you wouldn't be able to kill yourself. And now if Joker knows, he knows he can never kill Batman, because if he does, then Joker ceases to exist. And Batman doesn't want to fuck up his morals and not kill Joker because he wants to obey the law. Even though the law is corrupt sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes? Look at the world.
Yeah, so you hire...
We're talking about a different universe where it's optimally not as fucked up as the real world.
Optimally not as being the opportune words. Yeah.
Yeah, they're only corrupt part of the time.
Yeah.
So what do you think of my theory?
I think you could do it just as easily with a DC villain that can send people back in time as you did with the Marvel villain.
Yes.
I mean, Mother Box. Mother Box has the ability to just send people back in time.
All right, fine. Brainiac.
Brainiac. Yeah, okay. We'll say Brainiac. Brainiac destroyed so many times, he can come back, he can gain new abilities. Let's have Brainiac.
He's all about that information and implementing it in real life, right?
Honestly, I could see Brainiac giving Batman that ultimatum more so than Apocalypse, because Brainiac's all about trying to get what he wants out of a deal.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot to his mentality in that way has a lot to do with when he merged with Lex Luthor. He's a businessman now.
Yeah.
He's a businessman now because he merged with Lex Luthor and became a god for just a moment.
Why do I have the feeling to watch Smallville again?
Why do I have the feeling to watch Justice League again? Like the series.
Or better yet. Okay, so here's another theory, right?
Okay.
Batman and Batman Beyond, right? Like the series.
Okay.
He finally grows old and the Joker is changed. Because of time paradoxes, their past now are no longer the same. So, the thing is, Batman finally comes to realize that you know, he's old now, so he finally comes to realize that Joker could have been him. Well, since he...
Go ahead.
Can I still hear this, the result of single motherhood in the background?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Oh. Well, it seems kind of sad.
It's like the sound of a broken flute. It was played by the saddest freaking piper in the world, and no one ever paid him a penny or a dime.
Who played the world's smallest violin with their dick?
I would say it was played by the status quo. Oh,
there we go. There's one. Come on, where's two? Come on, these things usually happen in threes. Don't prove me wrong now.
Not live, you fuck.
Oh, I got it down timed.
Not wrong, just inconsistent. You know, just like real life.
Oh, there's two. And... Come on, where's the third one? There's the third one, so I think it should die down. She didn't raise her voice, so I don't think it's going to continue all night. Okay, I think it's done. I told you.
But it was one time before earlier, so I guess that counts.
Yeah, so with this, you know, older Batman teaches the younger kid with the new Batsuit and everything for the purpose of killing Joker. Because older Batman can't do it himself. Because, honestly, if you knew that your ultimate villain was you from the future, would you want to kill him?
No.
Not really.
So... you know, in addition to being old and can't carrying out the duties anymore, he also trains this kid to kill the Joker because he can't do it.
Okay.
That's pretty much the theory.
Okay. Well, I mean, the theory still works with Robin. Like, because Robin is the one who ended up killing the Joker anyway.
Well, Robin is also the one who ended up becoming
Joker.
Robin was also the one that ended up becoming the next Joker.
Yeah, because he tortured him during that moment,
Yeah.
and made him go insane, and he became the next Joker in Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Which I thought was poetry of a masterful level. Thank you, Warner Brothers.
Total mindfuck.
Well, it's the Joker. It's supposed to be. Oh, and I can also thank Mark Hamill for being the best Joker voice ever.
Yes. And you know why? Because he didn't drink the water that made the frogs gay.
It turns the frogs gay.
Okay, guys.
What?
You're breaking the conditioning. Because I fear like the going knows, so we are shutting down. Okay, he's actually shutting down. The goyim knows.
It's that water, man. You gotta quit drinking it.
I love that people like Alex Jones exist because
it's entertainment.
Not only that, but it exemplifies the reason for why entertainment was created in the first place. Like you would never know someone like Alex Jones existed unless there was a platform in which you could watch him. Because
not to mention that he consistently sounds like he's gargling gravel.
Oh, that actually makes it even better. Because he sounds like someone you should take seriously because his voice sounds like he's professional. Or he's
his voice sounds like he's been smoking for 80 years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, his voice gets your attention, is what I mean. Like, his voice gets your attention, the tone of his voice, and then just hearing it say, "The water turns the frogs gay," it just makes it completely go out the window. like like the seriousness of his tone is completely thrown to the wayside by what he said. And
it's like whatever credibility you had there, it just went out the fucking window.
Yep. It's like, I'm a man. I eat meat. I'm coming hard. It's just fucking.
By the way, as a man, I'm going through a divorce.
It's like,
because apparently I'm crazy.
I got hot blood flowing through me fast.
I better team up with Charlie Sheen. He's got that tiger blood, not that frog blood.
It is the best. Like I can imagine. I could imagine if we were to find the if we were to find the oh god. If we were to find the Democratic version of Alex Jones, like
you know what? Hold on. This needs to happen. Alex Jones as the Toad. EC, make this happen.
Oh god!
And the thing is, he needs to wear a pink tutu and start hitting on everyone. Because why?
Water turned the frogs gay.
Oh gosh, oh man. Oh, that's.
The longer you think about it, the funnier it gets.
Yeah, right.
So effectively, you would have a mix between Alex Jones, Toad, and Jim Carrey, and Ace Ventura wearing a tutu.
Oh no! Considering that's double Jim Carrey, like there is literally no difference between the personalities of Ace Ventura and the actor that plays him. Like there is literally no difference. Like Jim Carrey is a living cartoon.
Yes.
Like him, like I could name 5 living cartoons off the top of my head, and they are all the most entertaining people you will ever listen to, ever. Like, oh man. So you got oh man, I can't remember his name. Steven, the guy who plays Groot, and the guy who made his main character of The Office. Steven.
You know what next DC movie is coming out, right?
Steve Carell. Steve Carell. There we go. Wait, Steve Carell has a new movie coming out?
No. It's going to be the origin story of the Brotherhood of Mutants.
You're not pulling my leg, are you?
Did you just orgasm?
No, but
think about it this way, okay? After the recent X-Men, right? When Magneto finally got away and he made the choice not to kill the president.
Yeah.
He flies away, right? At that point in time, because he would be frowned upon by society, that's when he builds the base on the moon. And all the mutants that
You're right.
So when all the mutants that felt like they were being ridiculed by the Homo sapiens, they would be taken underneath Magneto's wings and trained into the Brotherhood of Mutants.
That makes so much sense.
Because the thing is, he couldn't kill the president. So, and instead of doing everything himself, he decides to gather an army. That's when he starts building that base.
which that's the reason why Geneva is on a giant hunk of space rock.
Bingo.
Ha